Hey, what's up, guys? This is Mike with the GFY Social Club, and today's episode is brought to you by Anchor.fm. Now, I know what you're asking me. Hey, stupid, what the hell is Anchor.fm? Well, I'll tell you. It's the easiest way to make a podcast, you dummy. That's right. First off, it's free, so you cheap bastards don't have to worry about getting involved in another subscription service. Yeah, they make it super simple for you. They have creation tools right there on the app and the website that are pretty much idiot-proof, you know, just in case you're like Greg and I and you like to have a couple of adult beverages while recording your podcast. Makes it super easy to get it recorded, get it edited, and get it out there. Then what they'll do is they'll distribute it for you. Yeah, to places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. There's a whole list of them. It's right there on the app and the website. You can see it for yourself. Best part of all, guys, is that you can make money with your podcast, and it needs no minimum listenership. Yeah, anywhere from like $1 million to 15 cents, which is more like our budget. But hey, you know what? It's 2020 and money's money. Am I right? You know it. So anyways, here's what I need you guys to do. Get off your lazy asses. Go download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor.fm to get started today. Get that podcast up there and going. And if anybody else comes up to you and says, hey, Anchor.fm isn't the place to go, like we say here in the clubhouse, tell them to go themselves. That's right. Anchor.fm.
Free socks.
Warning, the views and opinions expressed on the GFY Social Club podcast are solely that of the host and people with a sense of humor. It is intended for purposes of entertainment. Although we do not aim to offend, if you do find yourself offended at any portion of content during this show, the GFY Social Club would like to sincerely tell you to
go yourself.
Episode 16. That's right. It is Torn Up Tuesday. I know we're a day late, guys. We had some more technical problems. You know what it is we're failing comics here in Austin, Texas, so we don't make a whole lot of money. So we got to deal with what we got, you know, the equipment that we got. And we had to do that. So we are here in the clubhouse for episode 16. That's right, GFY Social Club, at GFY Social Club. Hashtag join the club. Episode 16. We're glad you're hanging out with us. Yeah, we got a good one lined up for you today. We are making a few changes to the formats here. Essentially, what we're doing is we're going to swap our Sundays, or our Mondays rather, with our Thursday episode. And Craig, this is something we heard from our huge sponsor over at Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah.
Right.
Augustus Busch,
Yes.
the ghost of Augustus Busch, reached out.
He did
on Twitter.
Yep. Yep, he did. He told us, he's like, listen, okay, you guys are doing booze reviews on Mondays at the beginning of the week. Why would you do that when you can do it on Thursday nights, which is Thirsty Thursday, going into the weekend, so that way people want to buy booze?
He made a lot of sense there. He said some stuff about German nationalism after that.
He did.
That I wasn't super on board with.
He did.
But the booze reviews thing made a ton of sense.
This is very
really
true.
Did.
This is very true. He did. That was a really weird message that we got there.
Yeah.
You know, like that whole fucking the voicemail or whatever. Yeah, that wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Fucking Nazis.
Seriously. Yeah. I mean, so it was absolutely ridiculous. But so essentially what we're doing is we're switching around our format a little bit. We're going to swap our days. We're still going to be releasing at 7 o'clock on Mondays and Thursdays. But the episodes are going to be swapped. So now we're going to do booze reviews on Thursdays. Mm-hmm. And because of that, Craig, we do have a big show lined up. We have a guest in here today.
Sure do.
That's right. A very good friend of ours, Craig. Who's this dude sitting next to me there?
Another Austin local comedian by way of New England, like the rest of us, Mr. Dave J. Welcome to the studio, Dave.
What's up, Dave?
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me.
Oh, no, absolutely. We're super psyched to have you on, man. So we're gonna get to know Dave here in a little bit. You're gonna see, you're gonna hear how funny he is. He's more like that dry humor, you know. So
pressure's on.
Yes, the pressure is definitely on.
Yeah.
So
you gotta
if you're
bring your A game when you come to the GFY studio.
That's right. And if you don't, Farva, the studio dog, will probably bite you in the ass, and then we'll have to kick you out.
It sounds like you're covering your bases when you say it's dry humor, because if he's not funny, like you just don't get it.
You just don't get it. That's
Right, you just don't, it's really dry.
yes.
See?
Yeah.
See?
There it is.
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat. That's right.
I also think I should let the audience know the reason we're actually going a day late is my fault. Your boy Craig had to represent the
last
GFY
night.
Social Club
Last
on
night.
a roast show.
Yeah.
And he didn't do great.
Yes.
He got fucking trounced in round number 1 by a very funny comic. Paige Plasnik.
Oh, what a loser!
Shout out Paige out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Just fucking
Shredded
tore
you.
me up.
Yes.
I heard it was fixed,
She
though.
did.
It was fixed.
It was
the fix was in.
It was fixed. I actually did hear that someone I know, not going to mention their name, tried to log back into Twitch on a different account and give me another vote to let me win. but the account timed out.
Yeah,
so-
no, it was fixed the other way. It just didn't work.
Yeah, no, it was fixed in the way that she was much better than I was.
Oh, there it is. Well,
That's,
at least they didn't have mail-in ballots, right?
Right. Well, she ended up winning the whole thing. So, congrats to her. And I
Yes.
I actually got to, we're friends on Facebook, so I got to message her a couple jokes. So she used
Sweet.
a couple of my jokes in the
Yes.
way to the win. I'm in no way taking credit for a win. She did it on her own. But yeah, so I just, some women are funny.
Yeah. Some.
Well, I mean, you wrote some of her stuff, so
Well, yeah. Well, like any other woman who has any kind of position of power,
Listen.
a man helped her get there.
Listen, when you make 73 cents on the dollar,
Yeah.
okay?
I was the extra 33
You gotta-
cents that
you
came
gotta
in and
fill
put her,
in.
34 cents really, and just put her right over the top.
Well, now here's the real issue. He said 73 cents, and you came in with 34. The difference is 27. So
Is it
you don't
20?
even need to be that smart
Yes.
to be a man.
Well,
Right.
she already called me out on the fucking roast because I posted the times. It was 7:30 Central Time, and I was like, "That's 6:30 for all my East Coast people," which is actually not. It's 8:30. So she got me on that right away,
Oh, man.
right out of the gate. But yeah, shout out to her, and it was a lot
Yes.
of fun. And I'm drawing a blank on the host name. This girl Marie from Madison.
Spark, I think his name was.
Sparko or
Yeah,
I'll,
something like
I'll
that.
post the stuff
Torkelson.
because they run that show every Monday. It's a
Yeah.
lot of fun. It's called Joke Roast Toast.
Nice.
Shout out to those guys. It was a lot of fun. Also shout out to my buddy Martin Henn, who's also from Madison. He's the one who put her in touch with me because all those people on that show have like legit credits, and I do not.
Yeah.
One of the guys on there has recorded 2 fucking albums, and he
Yes.
works at Acme in Minnesota. So like, yeah, everyone there had legitimate comedy chops.
Sure.
And I didn't. It's probably why I got bounced in round number 1.
That's it.
So
Oh man, so Dave is here with us, and he's from New England, like you said. He's from Massachusetts. How do you feel about Dunkin' Donuts, Dave?
I'm a big fan of Dunkin' Donuts,
Right.
but people who are not from Massachusetts, they're like, oh, like, what is it? Is the coffee? Is it? It's like, it sucks. Like,
Yeah.
it's not
yeah,
good.
it's terrible.
And, but like, I don't have like a favorite gas station.
Right.
But that's what it's like going to Dunkin' Donuts
Yeah.
back home.
It's like a taste of it's like being home because
Right.
I think we have one in Austin.
Right.
Yeah,
It's also
well,
like a Baskin Robbins, and they don't even have a drive-through. And
No good.
Get the fuck out of here. With
No
that.
good.
Right.
You guys are part.
That's not what I was. Hey, not Jamie. What the fuck, dude?
Oh my god.
This is 2 weeks in a
This
row.
fucking guy
Dude.
is on his last leg with me.
No, this
Seriously.
this guy, not Jamie. I heard a rumor that before Joe Rogan decided to come to Texas, he had to check in with you all to make sure, like, get your blessing to bring the podcast to Texas.
Oh, that's news to me, but that sounds about right. No, that's
Yeah.
accurate. That is 100% accurate. Not Jamie's already fucking this up though. So what happens is when he gets here,
Yeah.
we're actually gonna go and try to poach Jamie.
I can't see why he wouldn't take the offer.
Yeah. Why are you looking at me like that? Not Jamie. Don't. Come on. Just bury your head in the fucking
Yeah.
audio board already.
Dude, we told you one more time. We're making you
Seriously.
go work on Omar and Sam's podcast.
Yeah, you're gonna,
So, I mean, they could use the help.
Why is he chained up? he's chained to the radiator in here.
that's all right. He's fine. He's
Because
got
that's
some
what
water.
he deserves, Dave. He deserves to be chained to the radiator.
I was just like, why is there? We're in Austin. Why is there a radiator?
This is very true. Well, you know,
It's a decorative radiator.
It is. It is.
Every once in a
Need
while,
something to
we'll
chain
play
them to.
sound clips where it just hisses.
Yep.
So it'll remind us of being
Yeah.
home.
the radiator.
Just
It's
clangs.
It's decorative, but it's there for weight, so he
Right.
can't get away.
That's right. That's very
that's-
good.
Sometimes I'll come up here and I'll do a bunch of heroin and pass out on it. And
Yeah.
pretend to burn myself.
Yeah.
Just to remind me of being back in New England.
yeah.
Oh man, So
This is the real deal.
Yes, it is. Yeah, we don't fuck around here.
Yeah.
You know, you're in the club for life now.
Donuts and radiators. That's what we're all about on this show.
We're running this like an Arab prison. Welcome to the Gitmo FY Social Club. So anyways, so we're talking about Dunkin' Donuts. And I'm glad that you mentioned Martin Henn. Because Martin used to run a podcast with a certain individual.
Oh, yeah. It's that time.
It's that time.
Yes, he did. He used to run a hilarious podcast with our friend Colton Dowling, who gives us notes on our show.
He listens to the show and he gives us notes. And one of the notes that he said, stop using the word retard so much.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So Craig has problems with that.
Yeah.
As do I, because, it's a great fucking word.
Yeah.
It's tough to get away from.
It is. It's really hard to get away from. And another one is he does not like gay jokes.
No.
Okay. So with that being
I heard he
said,
doesn't like
but
gay
usually
people.
right when we bring that up, we always make a couple just to get them out of the way. But this time, we're not making any. This is a video with Dunkin' Donuts and gay jokes.
Yeah. Well, since we are here in the clubhouse in Austin, Texas.
Holy dog shit. Texas, only steers and queers come from Texas, Private Cowboy. And you don't much look like a steer to me, so that kind of narrows it down.
And we don't have the problem of Dunkin' Donuts here in Texas because there's very few of them, so we don't have to worry about this. But this video is circulating around online right now, and Colton should love this video. I could not stop laughing when I watched this video. Essentially, it's a guy that's very upset over the fact that Dunkin' Donuts got rid of their styrofoam cups, right?
He's got a problem.
He's the last thing this guy needs is more coffee. First off, I mean, he does not need any more caffeine. But we're gonna roll this out, and we'll put this up on our Facebook page at GFY Social Club, so you guys can see it. But we're gonna roll this off and kind of just comment on it a little bit. So, not Jamie, can you fire that up? You got it? All right, there it is. Okay, here we go.
Dunkin' Donuts, you faggot fucking cheap scumbag fucking company. Go back to the styrofoam cups, you fucking faggots. Look at this shit. The lid is on securely. And this isn't the only time. This happens every fucking time. Every time I get a coffee and I want to go off on whoever gave me the coffee. But the lid is on. Look, the lid's on squarely, right? Look.
It is. And it's filling out.
What the fuck is this? It's all over me. Look. It's all over. The lid is on.
There's a couple of
Your
drops.
cups are junk. Go back to the styrofoam, you fucking scumbag. Fucking faggots. I burned myself. I burned my fucking crotch. I'm burning. I gotta go to the hospital. Look at this. Look.
He's got to go to the hospital for a couple of drops.
Yeah.
Your cups are straight trash. Your lids, your cups, they're... Fuck you! You suck!
All right. Thanks, Jamie. Thanks, not Jamie. Yeah, the guy is just fucking.
I can think of one more other thing in the video that's straight trash, and it's. We're gonna play this when we get Ben Smith on here.
Yes,
he's a Rhode Island guy.
Yes,
and I lived in really shitty parts of Rhode Island for like a year, and that guy to me he sounds like Rhode Island trash.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, they love the styrofoam cups up there.
They do.
Or down there, I guess.
Yeah.
They put the iced coffee. They use styrofoam cups even with the iced coffee. This is for like 3 people in New England. So you put the styrofoam cup around the iced coffee. And I used to live in Providence, right off of Chalkstone.
Yep.
Yeah, I know where that is.
Yep. Not a good.
I used to live in West Warwick.
Yeah, that's like South Providence, and then that's like South Providence is what that is.
No, it was bad because we were on this street where on one side was Chalkstone, on the other end was I think it's called Pleasant Valley Parkway.
Yep.
So it's like this old Italian neighborhood on one side, and the other side is like it's just an open air bodega. It's not. It wasn't the safest place on earth, and
It's like a shitty Federal Hill.
It's like where the entire series, The Brotherhood, was filmed.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's for like 3 other people in New England who have seen that show.
Yeah.
This guy, I feel like I know this guy.
It's very possible.
Definitely, like he's cut me off in Kelly Square. And
Oh yeah.
That's a reference for 2 people who have been to Worcester.
Yeah, that guy is wow. He's and I don't want to think like he's not using the word faggots in a derogatory like gay like he's but he's more using it in like he's just upset.
Yes.
And
what we need to do is we need to get his email, this guy's email, so Colton can send him some notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yes. That's what when we get Colton on here, we'll get him to give this guy notes
Yes.
on his ranting videos, and then we'll send it to him and see how see if it helps him out.
This is definitely not the first time he's recorded himself. It can't be because like the guy's got the angles. He's driving.
He's driving.
He's
Driving
actively
and
driving.
apparently spilling tons of hot coffee.
He's spilling hot
while he's
coffee.
doing it.
He looks like normal. If you saw him somewhere, you'd be like, this guy's his beard is combed.
Yep.
He's in some sort of like work vehicle. He seems
Yep.
like he like coaches Little League or something. And then he just gets in his truck and he's like,
He actually seems more like the guy who has a kid who plays Little League, but he can't go to the games because
He's no longer allowed.
or an umpire.
the referee is
Yeah.
worse than a styrofoam
He
cup.
he hit an umpire with a bat one time, so now he has to watch across the street.
He looks like the guy that like he looks like a guy that really wants to start a motorcycle club with his friends,
Yeah.
but he's got that whole wife and kid situation going on, so he can't.
He looks like he's driving that vehicle illegally. This guy's probably got at least 2 DUIs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean he's definitely this is not his first time using that word when referring to Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh no, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
The bacon is not crispy enough. The bagel's not toasted. This guy has come back to the drive-through.
Yeah.
He's definitely spilled some warm cream cheese on himself, like squeezing out of
100%.
the bagel. Yeah, absolutely.
Why do these faggy donuts have jelly inside of them? He's said shit like that before, for sure.
10-4, good buddy.
Yes.
Yeah, queer. Just saying queer wasn't enough for him.
Yeah. No.
He had to drop the hard F.
Oh my god! I used to work at a Dunkin' Donuts, and it's the worst kind of people come in there. I remember when I started.
I can't even imagine.
My uncle's like, don't mess up anyone's coffee because people will they'll blow up on you over your coffee.
Oh, absolutely.
I've seen people throw coffee through the window, like being behind him in the drive-thru, and seen people like throw hot coffee. Well, I don't know if it was hot, but I would assume it was.
Oh yeah. I believe it.
People are insane.
Well, yeah, you dangle that fucking caffeine carrot in front of them,
Yep.
and they'll do anything to get that fix, man. It's tap that vein, dude. Holy shit.
And just hear, like, some of the people's orders, it's like, I want exactly 16 sugars and, 18 and they know. They will know if you skimped them on a cream,
Yeah.
and they'll throw the hot coffee in your face.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's,
That's the thing about Dunkin' Donuts up there. It's not like a treat. Like it's like getting gas.
It's a necessity.
It's just a part of the day, and
Yes.
and that's not an exaggeration.
No,
Like,
it's not.
No, it's not at all.
I lived in a town of like 16,000 people, like on the border of Connecticut.
Yeah.
And we had 3 Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had more Dunkin' Donuts than we had like public schools. It was
Yeah. Absolutely.
They're like with the old hacky like stand up like Starbucks and everything. It's like that in New England with Dunkin'.
Like
And I think
legit, though.
throughout like most of the Midwest probably too.
Yeah.
Like the upper Midwest, but anywhere in New England you go, if a town doesn't have a Dunkin',
It's not even a real place.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, another thing too is like you see the memes on social media and stuff like that, making fun of like, Boston with their Dunkin' Donuts and stuff. But there's one that's like literally it's a 4 corners, like an intersection, and you've got Dunkin' Donuts on 3 out of the 4 corners.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, that's got to be fake. No, motherfucker, that is not
real.
fake. That is legit. You gotta, because no matter what route you're going, whether you're turning left, turning right, I need to hit up Dunkin' real quick.
Yeah.
I need to swing through the drive-thru. I need to get me my fucking iced coffee. I need to get my fucking
We
coffee.
see the same people over and over again all day.
Oh, yeah.
All day.
Oh, yeah.
I know the guy who came up with America Runs on Dunkin'. He
Yeah.
came up with that campaign.
the slogan.
And he's a New England guy. And when I met him, he was like, or someone told me that about him, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta meet this guy. And he's just like a normal ass dude. But I thought it was the coolest thing.
Yeah.
This guy's like the guy. And I told someone that in Austin, and they were like, who cares?
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy's a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Big deal.
yeah, it's not it's not like people down here shit on it, and they're right too, because I don't really drink coffee, but I've heard it's not great. The food is just fucking garbage, straight up garbage. I mean,
Yeah.
I used to go there when I was a kid. My grandfather would get a coffee, I get a donut, it'd be a thing. But yeah, it's like, I mean, you would see Black Lives Matter level riots throughout New England if they shut down Dunkin' Donuts. If something it would be.
Some people would find that offensive.
Like they brought down Tim Hortons from Canada and people like, get the fuck out of here with that Canadian bullshit.
They're shutting down like 800 Dunkin' Donuts across the country.
Yeah.
No, I can in my hometown, if they shut down those Dunkin' Donuts, it would look like Chaz in fucking Seattle.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, here's the thing. They're shutting down 800, but there's still 18,000. So
Yeah, I
They're
mean,
fucking everywhere.
It's like when they'd find those like Purdue Pharma for like getting people hooked on heroin. They'd find them like 18 billion, but they still made 700 billion. So there's still a lot of them out there. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, well, Dunkin' Donuts, dude. I love it. It's like because we're all New England guys, so it's like part of that routine and stuff like that. So no, I mean, I would never flip out the way that guy did.
No, that was
about anything
that was
because
a bit excessive.
I'm pretty level-headed, anyways. So I fucking.
You're a lying dog faced pony show.
Go fuck yourself now, Jamie. That's not cool. So,
well, it's like he's talking about burning himself, and you guys have all heard the famous story about the woman who sued McDonald's for burning herself.
Yes.
But have you ever actually she burned the fuck out of her? She had to get like skin grafts and it was like a big deal. People were like, oh, she got $5 million but like no, she like legit set her pussy on fire with coffee.
Yeah.
And get like skin grafts, and it's a fucking crazy story. Like she kind of deserved the money she got. This guy was like little droplets were coming out, and he kept doing it on purpose. Yeah, like to prove his point.
It was like an ice bucket challenge with hot coffee.
Yeah,
it's like, look, this is horrible. Look at these cups.
It was probably like lukewarm coffee at that point because he just kept doing it.
So the Dunkin' Donuts, they decided to go away from styrofoam cups, and this guy's pissed. We're gonna put that up on social media, see if you guys can get as much of a laugh out of it as we did, because that was this guy. He is pissed.
So when we put that up there, focus less on the things that he's saying and just focus on like the what he's actually like mad about.
Yeah,
it's pretty hilarious.
When you show that to Colton,
yes,
bring him a coffee in one of those cups.
Yes, that's a good call.
Like show him it and then go like, I know it's what he's saying is horrible, but try the cup and then really see how you feel.
Yeah,
you might change your mind.
Oh man, if we could get Colton ranting and saying faggot a bunch, that would be
dropping the hard F.
Oh man, that would be the greatest thing ever.
Colton, when you're listening here, man, just remember, once we get on your schedule, we'll be able to get you in here. So, oh well, thank you very much, Mr. Dunkin' Donuts, man. You were pissed off. Definitely Rhode Island guy. I buy that one.
That's my bet. I would, if I'm putting money on that, 100%.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's either from West Warwick or Coventry.
maybe Southern Cranston.
Maybe.
Nantucket,
maybe that area.
He's definitely not South County, so not a chance at all. All right, so that brings us to our first segment of the day. Dave, I know you've heard the show. You said you listened to the Bob Keane episode, which was a wild one. Holy fucking A. So we do this every show. Of course, that means it's time for news. All right. Correct. What's our first news story of the day, my friend?
Our first news story coming in is apparently now you can buy Firefest merchandise.
Firefest?
From the U.S. Marshals, who shut it down.
Oh.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So apparently they're just... They seized all that shit.
Yeah, the U.S. Marshals.
And now they're selling it. So kind of like when cops like bust a drug dealer and take his car and they put it up for auction. They're doing that with Firefest.
What do the cops do with all the cocaine that they seize? Oh, yeah, that's right. They snort it.
Yeah. Well, they don't see it. It gets lost on the way to it. It gets lost on the way to evidence.
What are they doing with the money?
They probably need to buy some new fucking tanks and like some Black Hawk helicopters. Whatever we're giving a fucking law enforcement now. Well, the Marshals could really use a nuclear warhead. I don't know. They're hunting down Harrison Ford from Fugitive, and they could really, he's on that waterfall thing, and if they could just nuke the whole thing.
I think it's fantastic. They're going to sell all the Firefest merch from the idiots who tried to go make this thing work. And then buy a bunch of tanks to blow them up and put the same idiots up in Portland.
What I really, really want to happen is like 2 years down the road, they'll show like a story from like South Africa, and it'll just be a bunch of the kids wearing fire, like how they always
like they do with the Super Bowl losers.
Like the guys who don't win the Super Bowl, like they're wearing Cincinnati Bengals Super Bowl. Oh, now one's got a Firefest shirt on. That's what I really hope.
Kind of like what they would do with the Ja Rule albums,
right? Just like a bunch of little African kids kicking soccer balls wearing Firefest.
I just imagine them showing up and they're like, "Here's a shipment of like shit the U.S. didn't want. It's just a bunch of USB wireless chargers."
We don't need this anymore. It's just Firefest T-shirts, Cincinnati Bengals, Super Bowl hats, and Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Don't you understand, you dumb son of a bitch? Don't you understand?
That's what the Clintons will trade to families to like take their daughters to Little St. James. They're like, yeah, we're gonna steal your daughter, but look, here's a Firefest wristband. You can't buy these just anywhere, you know. And these things are fucking expensive. They're like their hats were like $300.
Yeah, that's what they're going for in the auction.
A pair of sweatpants was $100. So, you know,
They're auctioning him.
Yeah. It's on an auction. Yeah, and the bids are already up to like like you said, $300 for a hat. Did you see the documentary on it on Netflix?
I did. I watched one. There was a couple. I guess
there was one. The one that I watched was apparently there was one guy who was going to have to suck a whole bunch of dicks to get water there.
Yeah,
that was like this one guy who's like, you know, I just gonna have to blow all these dudes to get water for Firefest.
I loved when they like showed like all these people spending all the money for the tickets and everything like that.
$12,000 for fucking tickets.
And then they're expected to have like gourmet chefs there, like cooking all these big meals.
I would hope all
like
that shit.
Cheese sandwiches, stale bread, cheese
and I would hope that same guy would also suck my dick for $12,000. If he's sucking dick for water for $12,000, I kind of want a blowjob.
Yeah, I mean,
nothing makes me happier than to see someone spend $12,000 on a ticket and then that happened to them. It's so fucking hilarious.
And they
you want to spend $12,000 for music that was big in 1997?
Oh my god!
It's on an island though.
Yeah,
and you get lobster tartare.
You could probably you could book Ja Rule for $10,000 to be on this podcast. Probably. You don't need to spend
$10,000.
Yeah,
I mean, you could get him on. He'll co-host the show for $10,000.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think we can get Ja Rule on here?
I think for significantly less than $10,000 we can
less
get
than
Ja Rule.
$10,000 we could just do a Fast and the Furious recap.
Like
because he was in most of them, wasn't he?
$400 and some scissor-up, and I think we could get him on here. Some purple drag.
Yeah.
And he would
don't even have him on the show. You could get him to replace Not Jamie for $50 a show. Ja Rule's in.
Yeah. Oh,
and I can almost afford that now that I'm getting that unemployment money.
Well, good luck with that.
Goddamn, white boy.
Yeah. So Firefest is the U.S. Marshals are selling all their stuff. And they're auctioning it off. That's awesome. What a great fucking story. At least somebody's making money off of Firefest.
They're gonna buy a tank, and they're also gonna get a new plush, like a cop car / limo for when they eventually have to arrest Ellen because she's a celebrity and
shout out to Ellen.
She wants to be. You know, they're gonna incarcerate her, but it's gonna be in comfort.
Yeah, of course.
Throw that bitch in jail.
That's right. All right, so our second story of the day. This was a good one. An Irish pub has banned Neil Diamond's Sweet Caroline from venue amid coronavirus fears. Now, we're all from Boston. We all watch the Red Sox, right? So you were saying earlier, you're like, oh my God, I thought that was just like a Red Sox thing, you know, the seventh inning stretch.
Well, I thought the issue...
Neil Diamond Irish?
I don't know. What kind of last name is Diamond?
Well, I don't know that that's his actual real last name.
I don't know.
That could just be a stage name. I don't know.
That's very true.
Yeah, his name's like Neil, like O'Hallahan or something like that. Yeah. Well, I thought they banned it.
Correct.
I thought they banned it because of the singing along aspect.
They did. I think they did. Okay, so the story is they've taken the surprising step of banning his classic sing-along hit, Sweet Caroline, seemingly because of a wider effort to help stop the spread of coronavirus across the region. Mostly because you can't sing it out loud and everything. Like people like to belt that up, you know.
Can we go back in time and retroactively ban Thunder Rolls by Garth Brooks? Because that fucking ruined every single bar I went to when I first turned 21.
This is very
White
true.
Trash assholes putting that on the jukebox and screaming it out.
Well, while we're at it, why don't we just get rid of fucking Journey too? You know?
Yeah, I am 100% on board.
Who wants to see a bunch of like hot young 22-year-old girls in bikinis and running around yelling?
It's terrible.
Screaming that song.
Here's
right?
the thing.
Who wants to see that shit?
I've
Colton?
never seen hot young 22-year-old girls singing singing that song. It's always, frumpy, dumpy 43-year-old women drunk off Chardonnay at a shitty dive bar singing that song.
That's nasty.
Yeah, I fucked a few of them, but I wasn't happy about it.
Yeah, very nice.
So I guess here's what the story says. While karaoke isn't prohibited, this is Murphy's Irish Bar in Coralejo, Spain.
Original name.
Yeah.
It's the first one. Yeah, in Spain.
Yeah, when Murphy put that bar up, I bet you his name's not even Murphy, But when he built that bar, do you think he was sitting there saying, you know what we really need here for our strong Irish population here in Coralejo, Spain, is an Irish bar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I guess they do allow karaoke there, but venues are required to take steps to ensure singers are at least 3 meters away from any watching patrons while performing. What the fuck is 3 meters? What is that like?
I don't know.
How long is that? I don't know this. I can't. I don't know the
fucking
conversions.
witchcraft they do over there. I'm not. I'm not on board.
Get with the rest of us fucking sane people and get on the standard U.S. system. You fucks. So I guess obviously people like to sing and belt, but they actually ended up putting up, and we're gonna take a picture of this. We're gonna get this up on the Facebook page, the show page at GFY Social Club, and this thing is hilarious. You guys have, I don't know if you've seen that. It says, it's a big bar sign, like where you'd say the drink specials and stuff written in chalk. And this says, due to COVID-19, Sweet Caroline is banned. There will be no touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you, and then the big circle with the fucking cross through it.
Sounds like a goddamn bunch of commies over there.
Oh my God, dude. You can't do any of this.
Ireland or Russia? Come
Seriously.
on, guys.
Jeez, fucking A, man. God damn it.
That is correct.
So yeah, the Irish pub, they banned Neil Diamond. Those motherfuckers, man. Maybe that's why they always sing it at the Red Sox games, because
wish
it's
they
a big
banned that
Irish
stupid fucking Tessie song. Ugh.
Oh, seriously. I'm with that. I'm definitely with that. So that brings us to our third story of the day. You have this one, Dave. What's this one? What do we got here?
All right, Domino's in New Zealand is pulling their promotion where they were giving free pizzas to Karens.
To Karens?
Some people would find that offensive.
Yeah, people named Karen, I guess, are having a hard time right now. I can't imagine why.
Yeah.
Even down in Australia, Kieran.
Well, jeez, Dave, this is New Zealand, not part of Australia.
Oh, this is New Zealand.
I know a lady from New Zealand, and she'd be very upset if she heard you.
Very upset.
Sounds like a real Karen.
Yeah.
Sounds like a real Kieran.
I mean, to me, they all sound like Muppets when they talk anyways, but apparently to them, they sound like different sounding Muppets.
I mean, people from New Zealand, they're not even real people. Like, be from Australia or just be from America.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are the only two countries that I allow.
That's it.
America and Australia. That's it.
And then build a wall around the whole country.
Everywhere else is Russia. That's everywhere else is our enemy.
This is so stupid. We appreciate that how this has happened and have listened. We've removed the post. Domino really doing the work to unite the world.
Did the 3 women named Karen over there start a letter writing camp? I imagine they still write letters in New Zealand.
I guess. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's just funny that they had the promotion and like, okay, anybody named Karen gets a free pizza, and then they're like, oh yeah, we forgot that this is racist, and then Karens are showing up. They're like, hi, I'd like my free pizza. No, you can't have that.
No.
How dare you?
I don't know. The whole Karen thing is blown up.
I feel like New Zealand has a far more checkered past of like people who are cannibals and like stuff like that.
It's a continent that used to be a prison.
No, that's Australia.
Oh yeah.
But they're like relatives of that. There were no white people in New Zealand before there were white people in Australia. So they have like cannibalistic cults over there. Or not like tribes, I believe. So I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, eating Domino's pizza is like eating a person. It's that good.
Right.
It's that delicious.
So, keep the pizza.
Yeah.
Cheesy bread and human rump roast are both excellent.
At least it wasn't Papa John's, because Papa John's is absolute fucking. I mean,
it's dog shit.
It's awful.
It's dog shit, and I've eaten a lot of it, so I would know. It's fucking dog shit.
It's terrible.
It's fucking. Ugh.
I mean, I feel like whenever I've ordered a Papa John's pizza and I take a couple of bites, I'm like, these motherfuckers owe me money now.
Yeah.
This is.
I mean, I always eat the whole thing because I'm like, God damn it, I paid for it.
Of course.
Like Domino's is like like if you're hammered, Domino's is pretty fucking good.
It's not
if you eat
bad.
it when it's hot, it's not bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, we live in Austin, so being East Coast guys, we can all attest. The pizza, like
sucks.
the nice pizza places down here are still dog shit.
Yes.
I mean, there's no I'm not gonna go to New England and ask for like good brisket. I know it's not there. Like
No,
just
it's
do
not
the
gonna
things
happen.
you do well, but like there's like New York style pizza places down here that are just fucking dog shit.
There are no like pizza. There's the parlor. There's no pizza parlors like
it's
back
not a
home.
thing down here. Like, but there's no like good taco stands back home either.
Right.
You know?
But I miss a place where you get like a pizza that like some Greek guy made, and then also like it's like pizza in grinders, like that type of place where it's like a hole in the wall.
Yeah. Those are the best.
Those are the good. Those are the good places.
Or like you can get it by the slice, and the slice is the size of your fucking head.
Yeah.
And it's like $1.50.
That's
parlor. The pizza at the parlor is actually good. I mean, it's one of the,
it is.
by the slice. It's one of the better places I've had down here.
Absolutely.
And they also used to run a really cool open mic. So shout out to them.
Yeah.
And the bartender used to give me like free shots and pizza.
Yeah.
He was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Santa.
Yeah.
Santa man.
Guy was the
Yes.
man. And he played
was
really
awesome.
good music.
Yes.
God damn it, I missed fucking
I know, right?
stand-up.
I know. We all do, dude. Oh, we were just talking beforehand about how much we miss it. It's fucking nuts, dude. But the thing is about pizza down here too, and this is the fat guy in me, but like the pizza here, I'm sorry, man. When I get a pizza, I want like pepperoni, extra cheese.
Yeah.
I want
I don't want a fucking garden on my pizza.
Yeah, don't try to sell me this shit. It's like artisanal wheat dough.
This is our take on a traditional New York pizza. Well, why don't you take that back and fucking throw it in the dumpster because it's
Seriously.
goddamn disgusting. I don't want capers on my fucking pizza.
Who puts avocado on pizza?
Yeah, go fuck yourself if you've ever done that. Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh man.
I'm on board for pineapple. I haven't seen the avocado.
Okay, I am with you on pineapple.
Pineapple's not bad.
Yes.
Like Hawaiian pizza is I'll eat it.
Yes.
But there's a place down by my house and it's vegan pizza, which you might as well just call it fucking dog shit pizza because that's what it
What can
is.
a vegan eat? There's everything on a pizza.
I don't get it either.
Yeah.
I don't get it either. And I walked by one day and I was like, that smells terrible.
Yeah.
And then I saw the sign that there's a couple of them. There's another place over there that fucking caught me one day because it was a taco truck and I was gonna get like a El Pastor taco.
Sure.
And I looked at the board and then it said, all our ingredients are meatless. I'm like, oh, so that's not actually El Pastor. I'm like the douchey fucking vegan guy around. I was like, actually, can you read the sign? I'm like, yeah, I can read. You almost suckered me on that one, buddy, but you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that's awful.
I would rather die than give you money.
I saw the video you posted after that, just dropping hard Fs. You're like, this fucking taco.
Yeah, I wasn't happy.
No, I wouldn't be either. Yeah, I see some of the stuff. I went out to, and before we get on to our next news story, just on the subject of food, like, fat guys. I remember the first time I moved to Austin, and we went to breakfast one morning, right? And naturally, it's like a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
You know what I want I was up drinking the night before.
Yep.
What's the go-to breakfast? That all-American, like 2 eggs.
Yeah.
You know, over easy, over medium, whatever. Toast, sausage, bacon,
fries,
home fries. The all-American breakfast. And this wasn't a Denny's either. This was an actual fucking breakfast place. And I'm like, okay, where is that on the menu? And it's not on the fucking menu. And I'm sitting there and I'm flipping out. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I don't want fucking quinoa on my goddamn on my breakfast plate. What is this shit? Take this shit and take it back to fucking California, you hippie bastards, dude. Come on, man. Give me 2 eggs, toast. Fucking it depends on what kind of toast. It's got to be white toast, right?
Yeah.
So, and hey, there's nothing wrong with that. White toast is the way to go.
I like all kinds of toast.
I like them all too, but clearly white is the
best toast.
White has dominated the market.
Is the dominant of,
Right.
it's the master toast.
It is.
Right.
It is. It's above all other toast.
Yes,
White toast.
it is. It is the best kind of toast. Don't even try to come at me with that other shit. Those those colored toasts, those other colored, don't
pumpernickel.
Pumpernickel?
A wheat.
No,
rye bread, go fuck yourself with your rye bread.
Yes.
Sweet breads, get the fuck out of here.
All the people sitting there saying that all these colored toasts are all being oppressed and everything like that. There's plenty of people that like these kind of toasts, and I prefer white toast because I think white toast is the way to go.
Listen,
white toast is right toast. I've been saying that for years. For years.
I personally think all toast matters, so I don't really.
I'm not saying they don't matter. I'm just saying the white toast is the best toast.
That's
all toast.
Clearly.
Listen,
all toast matters.
Where do we fall on sourdough? Because it's white, but it's thicker.
Yeah, well,
I mean, if it would just call itself white toast, I'd be more on board with it.
Don't they typically pair up the sourdough? The
It's
white thicker toast with
what sourdough
pumpernickel.
is? Sourdough is
Don't they make a good pair?
I think. Listen, I haven't personally had that combination.
No. Okay.
Sourdough is self-hating white toast.
It
That's
is.
what it is, and it just needs to go back to its
just
roots.
white gilt toast.
It's white gilt toast. Yeah.
Yeah. Texas toast is just a Blue Lives Matter sticker.
Yeah,
on the back of the truck.
That's exactly what it. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm with you. I don't like these breakfast places that are like trying to sell you a salad for breakfast.
Yeah.
Yes. No. I agree.
Some of the best breakfasts I've gotten in Texas have been at IHOP and Denny's. But there's a place, Snooze Eatery. It's over by where I'm.
Yeah, Snooze is awesome.
Awesome.
It is
that place
really good.
Kicks ass.
And they have great drinks too.
I didn't drink. I think I actually got them from takeout.
Bloody
'cause
Marys
they were delivering shit during COVID, and it was fucking excellent.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So shout out to that place.
Yes. Absolutely.
They also have white toast, and they're really on board with it.
Thank God.
So if they hear this, I'm sure they're gonna love our white toast.
Well, it's that town. It's that part of town. Snooze is in the part of town where white toast is like the most popular kind of toast. You know what I mean?
I think there's one over on Riverside where I am, and that's definitely not that part of town.
That's definitely not that part of town where they like white toast.
No.
Okay.
No.
I saw them throwing white toast into Town Lake. They're having a whole white toast tea party over there.
Yeah.
Down on Riverside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
They're not so much into toast as tortillas.
Gotcha.
Where I am on Riverside.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they're more huevos rancheros. At least in the area that I live.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that makes sense. That goes good with breakfast too.
It sure does.
Fuck yeah. Oh man. So that brings us to our final story. Now that we got that set, we had a nice little conversation.
Yeah, we had a nice little run there. 16 episodes. That's a good one to end it on.
I want Colton's take on that, on the white toast.
On the white toast?
So Colton, write in if you're listening.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he's going to feed us some notes, so it's going to be good. So that brings us to our last story. Craig, what's our final news story of the day?
Headline: blood-soaked Florida man.
Oh.
Florida man, he lives in his van, he's Florida man.
And what is this blood-soaked Florida man doing? Clings to a truck for 9 miles, bashes windshield in crazy video. I would like to know, was he blood-soaked before he started, before he got onto the truck? Yeah, did he show up blood-soaked, or did the blood-soaking come from bashing his head against a windshield for 9 fucking miles?
9 miles. He was...
Well, who's the guy driving the truck?
Yeah, that guy's also out of his fucking mind, too.
That guy's soaked in fucking bath salts. Pull the thing over, dude.
Well, this is the same, Florida, it's the same place where the dude was high on bath salts and then chewed the guy's face off.
Yeah, I mean, that's
the
just,
Miami zombie.
Yeah, that's...
Well,
maybe it's the same guy.
Yeah, it's Florida, so obviously this is like just a Wednesday for them, but that's for the rest of us.
Yeah, people in Florida reading this headline, they're like, yeah, and? So?
Thought this was a newspaper, not a everyday occurrence paper.
What was that, now, we got the video. We got the video.
Oh.
Now, Jamie. Now, yeah, pull it up. Can you got that? All right, yeah, there it is. Okay, sweet. All right, so are you gonna play it or what?
Jesus Christ!
This guy's,
I swear to
dude,
God.
What do you pay him?
Get me one of those Dunkin' Donuts cups.
We don't.
I'm gonna spill hot coffee all over it.
We don't pay him. What's wrong with it? I don't. No, pull it up, dude. Okay.
His wrists look really red with those handcuffs on.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Well,
All right. Well, you know what? We'll find that and we'll get that.
We're
up.
gonna find a new producer, and then we're also gonna work on getting that video up.
Oh, there we. It's not loading up. You're an asshole. Okay.
Can imagine in your mind's eye.
So yeah, not Jamie couldn't pull that up. That's fine. So yeah, that's a typical day in Florida for that guy. I'm glad we couldn't pull that up. That was way to go, not Jamie. You're a fucking waste of space sometimes, man.
And I can see from reading the article that the guy showed up covered in blood. And so like the truck, he like waved the truck driver down, and the guy was like, "Oh, I should help this guy." And then the guy jumped on the hood, started bashing his fucking forehead off the windshield, and then the guy, it says, in a panic, hit the gas and took off, but also stayed panicked for almost 9 miles and just kept driving down the road. Like, at what point do you just pull over and be like, I'm going to call the cops? They'll fucking, they'll trank this guy and drag him off to the mental hospital where he belongs. Nah, 9 miles down the road. I think the trucker I think what probably really happened is these guys were fucking smoking meth together, right? At some truck stop. Probably just got done banging out some lot lizard. And then the truck driver, this Hughes guy, tried to stiff him with the lot lizard bill and got in his truck and took off. And then that guy beat the prostitute to death, which is where the blood came from, and then tried to chase the trucker down and get his money. I think that's actually what happened.
And this was the story, not bloody prostitute found dead.
No, it was just a guy hanging off.
Lot lizard. She's not a real person. She doesn't matter.
If she got on the truck, she might have made the story.
Yeah.
And then you see the window of the front windshield of the truck too. It's got all the cracks and shit like that because he was like punching it and headbutting it, trying to like get through to the driver, which is even fucking crazier.
That's got to be pretty strong to do that. And this guy, the driver wasn't just like on a side road. He's like on 95.
He was on a highway. It was on a highway. It wasn't. Yeah, it just wasn't a side road.
Yeah,
that's insane, man. The fucking leave it to fucking Florida, man. You know,
the last no reason has yet been given for the man's strange behavior. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it was probably drugs. You know,
you think?
I mean, we could say allegedly, but we don't really need to.
No one sobers. My wife
just
is
like,
from
Mondays, am I right? Now let me hop on the hood of this fucking truck and let's go for a ride.
I mean, you want to get into the into the carpool lane somehow. So
sure. That could be it, I guess.
Yeah, that's great.
Nice execution. You're doing terrific.
Yes. So leave it to fucking Florida man, right? It's always
Florida man, he lives in his van, he's Florida man.
Oh man, gotta love Florida man. Gotta love that good Florida man story. Well, that's our news for the day, guys. That's right. All right, so that means it's time for us to take a quick commercial break. We got to pay those bills with that big Anchor.fm 68 cents that they send us. We got to pay for this equipment somehow, guys. So stick around. We'll be right back. We do have Craig doing history today. We're going to sit down. We're going to talk to Dave J a little bit. We're going to get to know him. And, of course, it is we do have sports coming up because since we swapped the days, we have sports coming up now. So stick around, and we'll be right back.
Hey guys, this is your buddy Craig, the Ferg Doggy, hanging out here at the GFY Social Club. Just want to talk to you guys for a minute about Anchor.fm. If you're like us and want to start a podcast during these tumultuous times, I mean, honestly, is there anything we need more right now than more podcasts? I think that's what's going to heal us as a country right now in these trying times. More podcasts. So you go on Anchor FM, and it's a one-stop shop, guys, for all your podcasting needs. They have creation tools. It's all right there. It's all right there. The best part about it is they pay you. All right. And if most of you are like me, you're lazy pieces of shit who are on unemployment right now. Okay. We don't want to go back to work. And you know that extra $600 from the government is gonna run out at some point. And you can get some extra money in your pocket just from using Anchor.fm. So here's what you do: you just go download the free Anchor app, or you go to Anchor.fm, and then you just get drunk and rant into a microphone like me and Mike do twice a week at the GFY Social Club. # join the club.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Mike with the GFY Social Club. You guys hate Facebook? Do you? I think Facebook's annoying. You've heard me rant and complain about social media nonstop, but I gotta tell you, though, There's one spot on Facebook you can go to that's really cool. Yeah, it's called @GFY Social Club. Yeah, go check out our page. Give it a like. You know, give it the old thumbs up. Start following us. Let me tell you why. We're going to start having articles up there. Ridiculous news stories that we don't get to on the show. If you missed the show for whatever reason, we'll have all the links for the shows that you missed. It's up there every time. And also, you can't forget ridiculous pictures that we're going to find and we're going to put up there that we're going to make fun of. So, you know what? If you want a little distraction from all the garbage that's on Facebook on a regular basis, well, then go ahead and give it a like, give it a follow @GFY Social Club on the Facebook page, and spread the word. Spread the word to your friends. Spread the word to your family. Spread the word to your significant other. Let them know how awesome the GFY Social Club is, and tell them to #join the club @GFY Social Club on social media. That's on Facebook, of course. And yeah, join the club.
It's Facebook. Sucks. It's Facebook. Nah, 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 nah. They wreck my page with their constant changes, and I hate them, but I can't stay away.
And we're back. That's right. We had to take a piss. We had to make some money. We got that big 68 cents from Anchor.fm. You know, I mean, honestly, we're probably the only podcast other than, well, I mean, there's a few others that literally openly shit on their sponsor during the show.
You ever watch Tim Dillon's podcast? His ad reads are the greatest. His ad reads are almost better than his podcast, and he just fucking shits on it. It's hilarious.
I don't skip those ads. Those are good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it becomes part of the show. But
he has a Magic Spoon cereal as one of his sponsors, and he literally last week was like, Magic Spoon cereal, the official cereal of Little St. James. It's like, that's what they gave all the kids there to keep them, thin and hot.
Oh man, yeah. So thank you, Anchor.fm, for that commercial break that we had to make. I think we're up to 92 cents now. Actually, I don't know. I'll have to check. Wow. We're making big money off of
almost cracked the century mark.
Dude, a couple more. And we'll be. Hey, you know what? A couple more episodes, and we'll be able to buy a Four Loko. It'll be great. So, speaking of which, since we did, like I touched on it a few times here, we are switching around our days. So, our Monday episodes, where we normally did booze reviews. And then we also gave out a Golden Boner Award on Mondays.
Correct. Yep.
We're now going to do that on Thursdays leading into the weekend. And that means today's episode, which would normally be a Thursday episode, is now going to be our Monday episode. So that means we are going to do, of course, news every episode. We do sports now on Mondays because you know what? And when we come off the weekend, there's always, sports that are coming out, especially now that everything's starting back up again. So there's going to be a lot of sports stories coming off of the weekend because that's when everything happens in sports. And then, of course, Craig is going to be giving us a history lesson. So Craig does have a story for us today, don't you?
I sure do. Yes. This was we normally have these come out on Monday, which would have been the 3rd. So that's what I'm doing my history from. Very busy day in history. We had stuff about Columbus.
Oh, boy.
It was actually the official kickoff of World War I.
Oh, man.
When I was looking at the history stories, I sent them over to Mike, and I brought Dave in on this discussion, and they were like, do you have anything about Hitler? And I was like, well,
yeah, I do recall this.
They were, both these guys are really pro-Hitler.
Yeah. I wouldn't do the show unless we had a Hitler segment.
Exactly. So, as a matter of fact, I do. This is a big day in the history of Hitler's rise to power.
Ah, okay. So, does that picture that we have on the wall here in the studio, does that now that makes sense now?
Well, I mean, it always made sense. It was just,
I thought I think it's tasteful.
Yeah,
it is. It's
just decorative.
Nobody ever saw him with a smile, though. I will say that.
Well, this was the day when he kind of cemented his power. This was the official day where the power structure of Germany when he was making his ascent, there was a chancellor, which was basically like the number 2. There's also a president, and the day before that, which would have been August 2nd, 1934, the president, Paul von Hindenburg, died.
Okay.
So Hitler basically just came up and said...
Is that the dude they named the Hindenburg Zeppelin?
I believe it was.
Ah.
Oh, no shit.
But I think it was named after he died in in memoriam, because Zeppelins came out of Germany for sure.
Yeah, and it was that everybody knows that Zeppelin, the Hindenburg, is the Zeppelin that went down in a ball of flames.
The humanity. Yeah.
Giant ball of flames, kind of like the Minneapolis Police Department.
Yes.
I thought it was just a Led Zeppelin album cover.
Also that. Yes, also that. See, we have very diverse history. But anyway, so that president died, and Hitler was just like, you know what? I'm just going to take the chancellor and the president, I'm going to wrap them all together, and then I'm going to call him the Führer, which means leader in German. And that's when he became the Hitler that we know from history as like the supreme leader of
some people love.
Yes.
The Hitler we all know and love. Mein Führer.
There are
number one
some
in Germany, number 1 in your hearts.
But that does bring up the point that I wanted to bring up.
We're so good.
As I do love history and stories of like how the right came to be. Is like it's just fascinating to learn about how he was able to steer a whole country in like a terrible direction.
Yes.
And it bothers me now that like we've marginalized who Hitler is, because anytime someone comes along that people don't like, it's like, well, he's the next Hitler.
Yeah.
And 10 times out of 10, that guy has committed no genocides.
Right.
And Hitler had a really big one. And like, it's
he doesn't have a very good track record.
His name's almost just like a punchline now. And it's like, oh, this president's Hitler, that president's Hitler, this senator is Hitler. It's like, no, none of them are Hitler.
Right.
Like, stop.
Yeah. I feel the same way about Nazis. Like, when people say, oh, you're a whatever Nazi. I'm like, did you throw an infant into the air and then shoot it like you're
with anything?
Like you're like shooting skeet? Because other than that,
with anything, like, oh, you don't hate Trump, you're a Nazi.
Right.
You don't, whatever. You take cream in your coffee, you're a fucking Nazi. It's marginalized to like the greatest monsters. Arguably, I mean, the Russians could have, the communists in Russia under Lenin and Stalin were that regime was pretty awful too, or the people who committed the Armenian genocide. But I mean, but it's almost like Nazis and Hitler have become just a punchline to a joke.
Of course,
and marginalized because people
and not
just
a very good one either.
Yeah, because people just like that's anything you say. Oh, he's the next Hitler. It's like nobody is.
The only person that applies to is whoever came up with those paper cups at Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, that guy is yes, that guy.
Like Hitler.
I think he's actually Hitler's blood relative. I think.
Maybe
that was Steve Hitler.
Maybe that
Hitler, lesser known Hitler.
There's a great. I listened to. I think it was the Dollop. They do like Hitler had a nephew who actually was like big in the like he came over here like he tried to go to Hitler and like live off his uncle's name.
Yeah.
And he was like he wanted to get money and all this other stuff. Sure. And he was like used to sleep with chicks and be like, hey, I'm Hitler. I'm Edward Hitler. He had a name. His last name was just Hitler.
Yeah.
So Hitler was like, get the fuck out of here. He didn't like him. So he came over to the U.S. and he used to go on tours and just like talk shit about Hitler and like say all this like. And then he actually joined. He was in the U.S. Navy on a ship in World War II going over to fight Hitler.
Yeah.
On his name tag, it said Hitler. It's a fucking crazy story. I wish I could remember. Like,
it's kind of like when they used to write the names on the bombs that they used to drop, like in the Vietnam War. It'd be like
Fat Boy and Little Man from.
Yeah. And they would sit there and they'd write that this guy has Hitler on his uniform. And it's like, okay, so are you? Is this ironic? Is this like you trying to write your name on or his name on it, or like are you really gonna die and commit yourself to dying for Hitler, or like how does this work?
Uncle Hitler should have just wrote the check and this guy wouldn't fucking turn on him.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But I guess here's the thing is what I'm trying to say is stop calling people Nazis and Hitler.
Yes.
The people who are actual Nazis, they do exist. They're pretty proud of that fact.
Yeah.
They worked hard for that.
They'll let you know in the first 5 seconds of meeting them that they're a Nazi. And then call them a Nazi all you want.
Yeah.
But stop calling the guy who like who in 1984 made a joke about gay people. He's not a Nazi.
No,
he's not
a
Hitler.
Nazi.
Stop minimalizing this group of monsters. Yeah, just stop. Fucking stop.
Well, it's like Dave said, I mean, you're right. These people aren't Nazis just because they don't like something that you don't like. Real Nazis can be found at the Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru.
That's correct.
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen them.
That's correct.
I'm sure I have.
Yeah. Don't call people. That's stolen valor. The Nazis, they earned it.
They did. They
Through
earned
years
that
of
name.
hard work.
Yeah, they had to take a correspondence class. I'm sure.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of postage coming from Berlin.
Yeah.
It is. That's not cheap.
Yeah.
Oh man, so that's our history lesson for today. We got to know Hitler a little bit better.
Yep.
Oh, thank you so much, Greg. For
You're welcome.
Yes. Oh man, so we got to know Hitler pretty well.
I would say this is probably. You had a cancel episode earlier. This is probably
up
way
there.
more.
But
in
this
line.
is like subtle. This is more the subtle one.
It feels subtle, yeah.
Yeah.
When Mike eventually gets SNL, this will be the episode that they pull up to get him kicked off.
Oh my! I can't wait. Your
This'll
podcast
be-
is gonna blow up after you lose SNL.
I know. And then we can do Patreon and make real
Yes,
money like
real
Matt
money.
Shane's Secret Podcast. Oh,
yes,
great.
it'll be awesome.
Let's
What a dream.
start brainstorming ideas for your SNL audition. Mike.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll work on that this weekend. We'll get on that. Well, thanks, Greg, for that history lesson. I'm glad we got to know Hitler a little bit better. Speaking of getting to know Hitler a little bit better, let's get to know Dave J a little bit better.
Hey.
So we
The Hitler of the Austin comedy
that's
scene,
right.
Dave J.
That's right.
Thank you. You highly the guy who achieved all of his dreams. Yeah. Highly successful. Yeah.
Well, all of them but one.
Yeah, he came very close.
Yeah, he did. He was almost
He
there.
came very close.
So close.
A stone's throw away.
There's a great Norm Macdonald joke where he was like, there used to be this guy named Hitler, and he decided to start a war, and as his opponent, he chose the entire world, and it was close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he hasn't. No, it's about Germany. He's like, they fought the entire world, and then a few years later, they fought
did it
the
again.
entire world again, and almost won both times.
So as you guys can hear, Dave J, don't let the name fool you. That's probably the whitest name you could ever think of. Dave J.
That was intentional.
Right? That was totally intentional because Dave J is first off, you're a comedian here in Austin, Texas, right?
No shit. What have we got here? A fucking comedian.
Yeah, so you're here in Austin, Texas. You're from New England originally. End this confusion. Dave J is You're not white. You are
as hard as I try.
Right, as hard as you try to.
As hard as he try, we just won't let him.
I went along with the white bread thing and everything. I was like, am I going to get the Nazi badge after this? Or
no? So you're Puerto Rican and Pakistani. Okay, so the beard confuses people because people feel like you should not be walking through an airport.
No, that's how I feel too. Yeah.
No, TSA feels.
Yeah.
So you're originally from New England, right? What part of Massachusetts are you from?
Beautiful Worcester County, southern Worcester County. Southbridge, Massachusetts.
Cool.
Shout out to actually not shout out. I fucking fuck you.
Yeah. That's a much more appropriate
I'm here.
response to that.
Come find me if you can.
Get the fuck out of there.
These people have never seen an airplane. No, they're all right. My family still lives there. My family's fine. The rest of them are.
All right. So you're from New England, and now you're living here in Austin, Texas, but you kind of got to Texas via
via Providence. I
okay.
Yeah. So I was raised in New England, beautiful Southbridge, Massachusetts.
Sure.
And then spent a very 6 months in Providence.
Okay.
I moved there for a job, and then lost it within 6 months.
All right.
And then found a new job that was in Austin, and just moved. I've never been to Austin before, and I moved here. And we've been here 6 years.
Nice. And you like it here, obviously.
Yeah, I like it here, man.
It's a pretty cool little spot.
I like the no snow.
That's a big selling point.
I mean, huge.
Absolutely.
No, it's great. I love it here. Yeah, but yeah, people they get confused on the beard and here's the deal: is I'm the only person that I know one other person who's also half Pakistani, half Puerto Rican, and we're not related. Okay, and we somehow grew up in the same town. I don't know how this happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, it gets confusing. But that's my last name is Janjua, which is like a really I've been told. I don't know a lot about Pakistan, but it's like a very common last name in Pakistan, I guess. I don't know if you're from Pakistan. Right in. Zayn is the only other Pakistani comic in Austin.
Well, we were talking because we do have a big following in Ireland and Pakistan.
Is that true?
That's 100% true.
I imagine those numbers are going through the roof. This episode.
Oh, absolutely. I would ask not Jamie to pull up the analytics for you to see, but he can't even pull up a fucking video. Yeah. So keep working hard over there, not Jamie. We'll get you the copy there. So yeah, we do have a little bit of a following in Pakistan of all places. Are you now? Is your family, like the majority of your family, still over here, or like are you like first generation U.S. Second, third generation?
I guess I'm first because my mother's Puerto Rican, but she's born in New York.
Okay,
and my father was born in Pakistan.
That's cool.
And then they met in New York, which is the only place this combination can take place.
Sure.
And but I don't know anybody on my dad's side of the family.
Okay.
So he was a cool guy, you know.
Nice.
A real piece of shit, deadbeat.
Oh, good.
So I only know him, and then he died like 13 years ago.
Right.
So I don't know anybody over there.
Okay.
I just know my mom's side of the family, so it's all the Puerto Rican. So like culturally, and it's in my act too. Like culturally, I was raised Puerto Rican. Like I'm more. That's, food, language, all that shit is all Puerto Rican.
Well, so I got to imagine Puerto Rican food is better. than Pakistani food.
I'm gonna have to guess. The closest I got is I've been to a couple of Indian lunch buffets.
Oh of course.
So those are all right. So it's all Puerto Rican, and so when I was a kid, like. Especially my features started to show, and like I just didn't fit in with anybody because they're like, we really can't make out what you are. So
are you an only child? Or?
No, my sister, I got an older sister.
Okay,
so it's two of us.
Is she look more like your mom or more like your dad?
What she?
What's she look like? Got any pictures?
What are her measurements?
Well, here's it gets even more complicated. Is that she's actually technically my half sister, so she's Pakistani and Cuban. So another combination that happened in New York, so she's she's up in New Hampshire now, I think.
Okay. Wow, she must stick out like a real sore thumb in New Hampshire.
Yeah, she's
holy shit. I live in New Hampshire.
Yeah. Craig knows all about New Hampshire,
and anything other than shockingly white is like it's
glaring white.
Yeah, it's a head turner.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Even like the place I lived in Conway, they would have a lot of European kids come over in the summer and work because it's a big summer town. But it was all like Eastern Bloc, Czechoslovakia. It was like so it was shockingly white people from Europe.
Right.
Even they knew it was like
shockingly white.
Yeah.
Although I did work with it was fun. I did work with two Middle Eastern kids, and one of them was like these kids would go over there and they'd work like. Our kid was a dishwasher, and he worked at my restaurant. And he'd work 6 or 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And he was in medical school in Pakistan to become a heart surgeon.
Sure.
But he'd come over here in the summer and he'd work. He had 3 jobs, and he allotted himself 5 hours a day to sleep. The rest of the time he was over there for like 3.5 months, just worked 80 hours a week and just sent money back. It was fucking crazy. And
on something as simple as heart surgery.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
Yeah. She set the bar a little bit higher there, dude.
Fucking lazy prick.
Yeah.
He was a good shit. But yeah, and there was a lot of kids and they were all like they had a house where like all these foreign kids would live, and they were all like that. They all worked like 2 or 3 jobs and just fucking they'd give themselves like 5-6 hours a day to sleep, and the rest of the time they were working. It was fucking crazy.
It's convenient they were all in one spot, so you know which house to egg and like terrorize.
Well, not me specifically, but
we made them stay in this one house.
Then there was a flag over it.
Yeah,
it was weird. Looked kind of like a cross. But I don't think it was a Confederate flag, but
I didn't get any of those hardworking Genes.
No.
That's because you grew up in Massachusetts.
That's because I grew up in Massachusetts. I think my dad just must have been. He was a carpenter. I think he was a roofer in New York, and so he was just like he was not even a fucking doctor. Maybe he was a doctor. I don't know. I know so little about this.
You're a neurosurgeon in Pakistan. Now you can roof. Now you can stand up in the sun all day.
Well, I'm glad you brought up like the culture thing, because you say you talk about it a lot in your act, and I've seen your act multiple times. We worked several shows together.
Sorry about that.
I'm sorry, man. I had to go before you, so I probably ruined the house for you. But no, I'm glad you brought that up because you do talk about that a lot in your act. That brings me to how long have you been doing stand up? How long have you been?
I actually just hit my 1 year mark last.
Oh, so you're still
last month.
Brand
Nice.
new.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
a few days ago.
That's awesome. You always remember your comedy birthday too.
Oh yeah.
Yes, everybody does.
I don't remember mine.
You don't. Well, you don't remember what you did last week.
No, I had about
Allison can vouch for that.
My comedy birthday, and now I had about 5 years of heavy heroin use in between that. So
you mean to tell me the guy that falls asleep at the bar doesn't remember his comedy birthday? He doesn't remember his real birthday.
Yeah, I actually did forget my real birthday the year before last. I thought it was the day before it. Actually, I didn't forget what it was. I just thought it was. I thought my birthday was on Monday and it was actually on a Tuesday. So I was all bummed out on Monday because no one would wish me happy birthday. And I was telling one of my friends that, I'm like, yeah, isn't your birthday actually tomorrow? I was like, oh, yeah, that makes way more sense. But Dave, only been doing it for a year, but he has stage presence that's much. I mean, you're way more comfortable on stage than people I've seen down here. That have been doing it for way longer.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. I started real late. I started shortly after my 30th birthday because I was just and I've read that there's a quicker kind of rev up. Mm-hmm. If you start late, than if you start when you're 18 and you have you've done two things in your life.
Well, yeah, I think you have more to
life experience
to talk about.
Yeah.
Just the benefit to starting earlier is once you get to that 30-year mark, then you know how to talk about that stuff.
Yeah,
that's more interesting. But but I think there's a lot of guys I know down here that have. I started. I think I was 30 when I started doing it too. I'd done it once or twice in my 20s.
Yeah,
sure.
But there's a few guys down here I know that started older who were fucking murder. Andre Ricks is. Yeah. He's in his mid 30s. He's been doing it 3 years. He's a fucking killer.
Yeah. He's only been doing it 3 years.
I don't think it's much longer than that.
Jesus, he's genuinely hilarious.
Andre, he's got to be on here. I think.
I see that.
I think coming up. But I'm sorry if I'm blowing up your spot. And you've been doing it a lot, and you've been doing it a lot longer than that. But I mean, either way, okay, if he's been doing it for 10, he's he's doing really good. I think he's only been doing it 3, and he's a fucking killer. He's so good.
Yeah. Right. I like Andre a lot.
Yeah,
he's good shit. So what caused you to what made you want to get into stand up? Did you? Is it something that you wanted to do, or is it something you just kind of I'm gonna give this a shot because I'm kind of a funny motherfucker. So how did that? How being from New England? I mean, some of the best fucking comics of all time are from New England, dude. I mean, you look at it, just run down the list.
I mean, they get disguised too by New York because those Boston guys go to New York and now they're New York guys.
Yeah.
But
a lot of those
Bill
guys,
Burr,
Patrice O'Neal,
Louis C.K.,
Greg Fitzsimmons.
Yep.
There's a ton who started in Boston. I mean, for a while
started.
For a while, Boston was bigger than New York.
Oh yeah.
When that first comedy boom hit, like guys like Lenny Clark, he's like, I go out to L.A. to do stuff out here, but he's like, I could make $600 a night doing spots in Boston.
Oh yeah.
It was. And speaking of Lenny Clark, one of the best of all time.
Yeah,
love Lenny
Guy's
Clark.
fucking hilarious. But I think it's you just grow up and it's cold and people are bitter and mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think Mike and I kind of gravitate towards each other because people down here, people in the scene are nice, but it's a fake nice. A lot of them.
Yeah.
People I don't know. I'm just more drawn to people who can bust balls and be.
No, yeah, I totally appreciate the thing that I really not the reason I started doing stand up, but the thing that I like most about doing stand up is just being yourself 100%.
Yeah.
Most parts of your life, you have to kind of not be yourself all the way.
Yep.
At work, whatever. But no, growing up in New England, my mom is from New York, born and raised in New York. And, it was just her and I and my sister. And we would just, bust each other's balls all the time. We would just roast each other.
Sure.
And just kind of like picked up this credo of like laugh or cry, like whatever's wrong, gee, just laugh about it.
Yeah.
Or it'll destroy you.
Yeah, that was growing up. It was like if you don't laugh, you're gonna cry, so you might as well laugh.
You build up that thick skin. You build up that callousness that allows you to be able to, I don't know, fucking take a joke.
Yeah.
You know?
And I love jokes about me. Like I think about that roast we did for Ozzy, right?
Yes.
Which was actually, I think, might have been the last thing I did before.
Yeah, before everything got shut down. Yeah.
I think that was where it started.
Okay.
Ozzy's birthday party.
Yeah.
And
I feel like that's not super fair though, because he's so easy to roast. He's such a piece of shit. It's like, it's not even, you don't even have to like write jokes. You just tell any random story about Ozzy, and the piece of shit that he is just comes out of that.
Yeah.
But I go ahead.
It's a character.
It's a character.
Yeah. But like the jokes, you had the best jokes about me, and I was telling Dean this on his podcast, that joke where he said Dave looks like Al Qaeda is so fucking funny to me. Like I love that stuff. Like I love roast. I love writing specifically for like just to shit on somebody.
It's also like one of the most, and here I sound like I'm a pro. I'm a fucking nobody, but it's one of the most purest form of joke writing.
Yeah.
You know, because you're literally just looking at something so simple where it's like, look at it, set up, punch.
Look at this fucking guy.
Look at this.
So much fun.
Yeah.
I know I was actually talking about you, Mike, last week with some people. We were talking about the roast when Ozzy had those fucking roast battle things.
Yeah.
At Three Barrages.
Those are fun. Roast battles are great, man.
Do you know AJ Garces from San Antonio?
I know his name.
He's got some clout over there. He's funny. He's kind of like, he's straight. He dates I think he's having a kid with Tram Tran. So
who's also a phenomenal.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
She's hilarious.
But you wouldn't know he's just dating a woman to hear him talk. And he talks about that in his act too. So I'm not like shitting on him too much, but like he's like all tatted up and he's got fucking gauge and stuff.
Gauged ears and everything. Yeah.
Mike one of his roasts is just. He just called him Twink 182.
Twink 182 is a 10 out of a 10. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Someone, not you, told me that joke, and I fucking like fell out of my chair. It was like, it's so good.
Well, the art of the roast battle.
Zero fat on it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, the art of the roast battle is like, if you ever watch roast battles, you see, like, you'll get a true roast battle. You do like 5 minutes, or not even. I'm sorry, not 5 minutes. You do like 5 jokes
I feel like
back and forth.
Roast battle is the name of that show.
Right, but I mean, it's perfect. It's a perfect name because it's actually what you're doing. Whoever starts first, it's like you versus Craig, and then Craig, say Craig goes first, and then he does one joke, and then you do a joke. You do a tit for tat for like 3 or 4 minutes, right? And the art to the roast battle where everybody, like, I see a lot of the comics that are really fucking funny, but they don't actually where they miss out is they don't have a quick rebuttal, like a quick snapback.
Yeah.
Like, so if somebody, you want to get the crowd into it, like on your side.
Yeah.
So if you roll off a ridiculously funny, like a really good roast joke, I want to steal your heat by dropping in, well, thank you very much, Twink 182.
Yeah.
And that's a boom.
Yeah,
and then I still haven't rolled my joke off yet.
It was thank you, Twink 182.
Yeah. Thank you, Twink 182. So then it's almost like you get a twofer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where, like, you see all these roast comics, that's where they fucking like boom, boom. Yeah. But it's like,
yeah, I mean, all those roast comics are great writers.
Oh, they are.
You know
They're
what I mean?
phenomenal writers.
Those people are like, I'm big on being prepared.
Oh yeah,
you know what
100%.
I mean? Like I've never been like, I'm gonna go on stage tonight and just wing it.
I was just gonna ask you about that because we were talking about that beforehand. You're like, oh, it's just so, you know, the way you guys format the show. It's like, yeah, we get it formatted, and you're like, that's good because I like to be prepared when I go on the show. Like, how much do you prepare before you get on stage? Before you go up to do like a 10-15 minute set?
Yeah, so like I've got everything organized. Like all my notes are organized so that like every bit is written out word for word.
Okay. Yep.
And then so there's a record of it.
Okay.
And then it comes out obviously a little different every time you do it. And so I have all those kind of lined up and then take those and just put them in whatever order. And then so if it's an order that I'm not familiar with or haven't done in the past, I'll just, and I've gotten to the point now where I can like usually do it on the car ride over. Like I'll just recite to myself, 2-3 times depending on the length of the ride. Okay. And then like get as prepared as I can. And then right before I go on stage, I'm like, I'm trying to think about anything. I'm like, I can't get any more prepared than this. Yeah. Now it's just happening.
Yeah. I do. Yeah. I used to like psych myself out a lot, but then I got to the point where I was like if I don't know it by now, I don't know it. Right. And I still have issues like I forget stuff, like I'll forget a tag or sometimes you forget a whole punchline. You kind of have to go from there. And I do the same thing. Whenever I'm first writing anything out, I write it out almost word for word because that's the only way I can remember it. I have to physically write the thing out on paper. Yeah. Then once I do it a few times, it's fine. But like, to remember it like the first time I'm going to do it, I literally have to write it out word for word. Sure. And it's not like... I don't do like, and you don't either. You're not like a setup punch, you're not a one-liner guy. Right. So it's like I end up writing a lot, but it's the only way I can actually remember it the first few times I do it on stage.
That's a good way to like learn how to cut fat too. Yeah. Yeah. Is like write everything out and then just look at it, right? Yeah. Like this, and I separate out the punchline. I'm like, this is where the laugh should come, but everything else in here, like I can get there with like if I take out or just reword it or like and also the way I'll write it down. Sometimes it doesn't come natural to the way I speak. And so I'll try to say it out loud.
Yeah, like I think long-winded. I think way more long-winded than I actually talk. Right, so like thinking about something, I write it out. Is always like, you can always cut. There's always a bunch of different shit you can cut out of it.
Yeah. Absolutely. So you prepare quite a bit before you go up and you do a set. Man, I mean, how many places have you actually done comedy outside of Austin? Like, I mean, have you gotten to travel at all, or just
things were really starting to fucking heat up right before COVID.
Everything. Yeah,
and
that kicked all of our asses, man. It was just.
But I feel like I do remember you were getting some real track. Like you were doing stuff. You had some stuff
I was finally at the point where you could take a dumb little image of yourself and put your dates for the month on there. Yeah. And I was like, all right.
Oh, that's that
these
thing.
3 pizza places.
That sucks. I mean, it's like. Whatever, but it's still fucking cool to be able to do. I remember the first time I had like multiple shows in a week. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. This is the first time I had like 2 shows in a night.
I'm a touring comic.
Which 2 shows in a night, which I think has only happened to me once, maybe twice. But I was like, oh my God, it's so fucking cool.
We're going to be in Cedar Park and Leander.
Not that it ever really got much beyond that for me at this point anyways, but it was still fucking cool the first times it happened.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I went down. I was supposed to go to Laredo.
Yeah,
in April, and then it got rebooked again. I was a part of the wave that put us all back in the house again because I ended up going down to Laredo in June for Aaron Suarez has a rooftop comedy lounge.
Yeah, the Laredo funny stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
And that was a lot of fun. It was really cool. It was outdoors on a roof, so I'm gonna blame that on why I had a lukewarm set.
Of course. Yeah.
And also because I didn't know this about Laredo. Like, okay, this is the difference between Laredo and Austin. In Austin, in my act, I will sometimes go, if I'm going to talk about race, go, are there any white people in here? And in Austin, that's a punchline. Because they're like, yeah, look at us. And I went to Laredo, I'm like, are there any white people in here? And they were like, no, not really.
No. And they answered you like so matter of fact.
No. Yeah, no. There's one lady, she's like I looked it up. It's one of the least diverse cities in the country is Laredo. It's like 96% Mexican.
Is it right? Is it on?
It's on the border.
Okay, it's on. Yeah.
It was my first time there. It was my first time to the border. It was a really cool experience, and like all the comics on there were super cool, and they took us out and fed us, and
that's fucking sweet.
Nice.
They were really cool.
Aaron's a really cool guy. I met him a couple times.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah,
funny comic too.
Yeah, I love Aaron.
Yeah.
But that's it so far. So
So you've noticed the difference. I was because that's usually something else I ask is I'll be like, what's like some of your favorite cities that you've worked in? And I mean a year in, you're just starting out, so obviously it's going to be a little bit tougher. But I mean, already getting the Laredo stuff. Did you do San Antonio as well? You did San Antonio, right?
No, I was supposed to again get COVID, but I was going to go down there with I think with you and Shannon.
Yeah. Okay, that's right.
Yeah, that didn't work out.
Yeah.
I had this whole plan on like when things were starting to come back a little bit. I'm like, no one's going out. I'm just gonna every week I'm gonna go to San Antonio. I'm gonna go to Dallas.
Yep.
I'm gonna make these connections, and then everything just fucking shrunk right back up.
So what do you got for like? I mean, it's hard to know because we don't know what's coming up with the whole COVID shit. But like, do you have anything like any like kind of short term goals when everything starts back up? Like places you want to get to? You want to get to Dallas, but do you anywhere else like outside of Texas? You want to?
I'll go. I want to go. I want to get on the road.
Yeah.
I want to go to some place like Laredo. Hopefully, I'll be able to go out. To some places around the South with Aaron if he'll have me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to go perform in as many places as possible because there are facets to the Austin scene. Like you can go to the Parlor and then you can go to Cold Town.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a difference.
Yeah, huge difference.
And I want to do that like on a larger scale.
Okay.
Right. Like the kind of thing where it's like I don't want to be funny for one place.
Right.
Yeah, you want to be undeniably funny.
Right.
So no matter and that is one of the tougher things about because this city is so not segregated, but it's like there's rooms where you if you kill in this room, you kill in this room, but you can't kill in you can kill in A, you can kill in B, but you can't do good in C, D, E, F. It's weird. It's like
I was trying when we can fucking go out. I was trying to spread everything out so that like on a Monday night, you could go to down to what's the bar that's a house on the east side? Luster Pearl, and then you could go to the Parlor.
Yep.
And then you could go to Cold Town. So you could do 3 in a
triple
night,
up, yeah.
Which was because Cold Town's like late at night, and like I don't know if I've ever gotten a fucking laugh in that building.
Yeah, I've done it like one time. I think it didn't go over.
Yeah, just when we had the roast was the only time.
Oh yeah,
that's actually a building that I wasn't welcome back at, which was hilarious.
You told me that.
Yeah, that wasn't.
But that roast was fucking great.
It was. That was a lot of fun.
That was a ton of fun.
I was actually allowed back in the building for one.
Well, I mean, you hosted
night.
The show. They kind of had to. They didn't really have much of a choice.
Did you walk in like, look who comes crawling back?
No, they didn't.
I'm sure they didn't even remember.
They didn't even remember me. There was nobody there. It was really just the person that was running the show there that said probably the words were, "It's probably a good idea if you don't come back here."
Yeah,
and I was like, "That to which I applied, yeah, no problem." So
based on that feedback, probably.
Yeah, that's probably pretty accurate.
And I told you that when you first told me that's right. I told you this, I don't know, last year or whatever. That's the thing that like I like there being different kinds of rooms in Austin.
Sure.
Yeah. But I hate. There can't be like rules on like when they say like you probably shouldn't come here.
Right.
It's like this is a 1-note room.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
It's
like
an
that's not
open
healthy.
mic.
Yeah.
It's open to everyone. If it's gonna be a show, that's different. You're booking the show. You do whatever. Open mic. You shouldn't be banning people unless they're doing like. They're getting aggressive with other comics.
Yeah.
There's clearly a reason to ban. But just because you don't like someone's jokes or they're not good for the crowd, it's a fucking open mic.
Yeah.
Like people aren't going in there expecting to see everyone's A material. It's a fucking open mic.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is their jokes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
jokes.
And like if somebody would have told me that you shouldn't come back here again after like one of my first times doing it, I would have been fucking devastated. I would have been like, holy shit, I fucked up. I did something. Like
half the time though, I think it's almost a test. Like with some people, especially if they're some comics where they're, this is a weird theory that I heard somebody say, but like when you hear that from like a more senior comic, to where like, yeah, you probably shouldn't come back here. It's probably not a good idea for you to come back here. And then if you're just like, oh my god, holy shit, what the fuck, and then you don't, and then you just kind of cower out and then don't come back, then you failed the test. Because it's like one of those things. So when you say that, I'm like, yeah, I kind of was thinking the same thing. And then the other half of me, I was like, oh yeah, you know what? Fuck you. I can come back here and do that. But at that point, I didn't want to. Yeah, it was more one of those like, you know what? Go fuck yourself. I'm going to go to some other room and I'll do fine. And I'm still learning. I'm still getting better, just like the rest of that's what we're all there to do anyways.
And
we're just trying to get better. It's not like this is a booked, showcase. This is just like Craig said, it's an open mic.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Dude, this is where you work out stuff.
Right.
None of us are selling out the Paramount the last time I checked. So until you are, go fuck yourself. You don't really have much of a fucking thing to say.
Yeah, that's what I hate about that is like anybody who has like the balls to get on stage.
Yeah.
I don't like nothing you can say on stage will offend me.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's a joke and like you're being vulnerable by being up there.
Yeah.
And so just for someone to come off and not to get, too fucking, artsy, but like someone went up there and they exposed themselves to you and they said, here's some things that I wrote that I think are funny.
Sure.
Yep.
And then you're like, not only did I not think that was funny, but you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm going to judge you as a person.
Yeah.
And like, who is that person to fucking like? What are you the mayor of Funnytown? Like,
Yeah.
who the fuck are you? Like,
I mean, you make the attempt, right? Like if you made the attempt, then there's a lot of comics I don't fucking like.
Yeah.
I'm like, but like, hey, if you went on stage, like,
there's a lot of them I don't like as people.
Yeah.
But some of them I think are really funny.
Yeah, you can't deny that they're funny.
There's a lot of people that I fucking think suck. And
As
I don't want to
comics,
listen to them. I don't want to listen to them do a comedy. I personally don't, but I love them as people.
Yeah, you'll hang out with them, have a beer with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
And those people are.
Yeah, so that actually leads me into my next question, Dave. Who is your list of people that you don't like?
Yeah.
Seeing as how nobody in Austin listens to this anyways, it's okay. Oh, man. So where can we find you on social media? So do you have anything up, like any footage, anything like that you want to get out there so that way people can see you?
Just follow me on Instagram at Dave Janjua, Janjua. That's my government name. You follow me there. I've been
your Christian name.
That's my Muslim name.
That's it.
And
please, we wouldn't have booked you if you knew you had a Muslim.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please don't delete the episode. Yeah, follow me there. I'm starting to post some clips of me doing stand up. You can find some shit there in my stories, some me doing stand up. And that's it. Just follow. I'm just trying to stay on Instagram. All their social media is bad for you and is destroying the fabric of our society.
Mm-hmm. It is 100%.
Unless you're watching me do stand up on Instagram, then I think
or listening to this
great.
podcast. Anything other than that?
Yeah, no. Follow.
Get out of here.
Follow GFY on Facebook.
Yes,
but nothing else.
Yeah, no.
Literally nothing else.
Just us, and Dave J on Instagram.
Yes.
On Instagram.
Dave Janjua.
Dave Janjua.
Don't use your white name, Dave J.
No.
Use your birth name.
I thought I would lose the Janjua because it's hard for people usually to pronounce, and also because I'm like I don't want to, which might help me in Austin.
It has a kind of some Jew in it too.
and
that's a no-no.
Send the wrong vibes. But I also thought like I don't want any fucking diversity bookings.
No, of course not.
On paper, I want to be like, you're just some white guy.
And then you show up and you're like, here.
I show up and they're like, oh, thank God, we booked.
Are you here to blow up? Are you here to blow up the building? Or
I would actually like some diversity bookings. I'll say I'm Muslim, gay, queer, whatever, non-binary, whatever gets me booked. I'll say I'm those things.
That's right.
Yeah,
I know there's a bunch of other people out there doing that, and it's working for them. So I will also do that.
I know some people in Austin who are, diverse, and they're like, of course, they're like, which is rare, and they're like, yeah, I get booked on this stuff because I'm like a fucking 5-way intersection of like things,
sure,
and they're like. And that's fine. I'm just gonna take it. So I take that back. I will take diversity booking, but you could put a white guy's name on the poster,
right? And you can find him at Dave Janjua, but just put him down on the poster.
You can just put up headshots of me or Mike. We'll send you some. So you put that, and then you show up and they're like, "Whoa, what is this?" Then their minds are blown already. So yeah.
Oh man. So it's at Dave Janjua on Instagram.
Yes, please.
And we can find you there. And then you have, like you said, you're putting up clips and stuff like that. So go ahead, check that out, guys. Give him a follow. Check out some of his comedy. I'm telling you right now, you've heard he's a funny bastard. He's dry, which means he's going to tell you a punchline, and you're not even going to know he's telling you a punchline. Then all of a sudden, a second later, you'll be like, oh, but at that point, he's already staring at you like you're a fucking idiot. Yeah. So, like he's done to us a few times tonight.
Yeah.
So, it's Dave J, the comic here in Austin, Texas. Thanks, Dave, for hanging out. I really appreciate it. That leads us to our last segment. Well, you said you're from New England. You're from Massachusetts, man.
Yes, sir.
You must be a huge Boston Red Sox fan, right?
I'm going to tell you this. I'm not much of a sports guy.
No, you're not.
But I'm a big fan of David Ortiz swearing.
Oh yes,
this is our fucking city.
It's our fucking city,
and it's inescapable.
Yes.
So I'll pretend that whatever you guys say, I'll pretend I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, I'm glad you say that, man, because that leads us to our final segment of the show, Craig. That's right. It's time for sports.
think we've had any guests that are like big time sports people.
I know that's like the funny part of doing it.
Like they're all like just kind of awesome people. Like, yeah, I don't really give a shit about.
I'm here
sports.
to learn. Yeah, I'm here to learn.
Yes. Well, you know what it is I mean we haven't had a whole lot of comics.
We had
in here.
Bob on, so
We did.
Bob can talk. Bob can chop up sports.
Of course. The most of them they probably want to hear like all right, so that brings us to our final segment of the show. That's right. This is this week's improv recap.
Who's your favorite independent band from the aughts?
Yes. Do you have a favorite The Decemberist cover band? List them right now.
List Radiohead albums in order of importance to who you are as a person right now.
I thought we were getting into anime at the end of this.
Oh, you know what? No, yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. Let's talk about anime some other time, right? I had a news story that was sent to me that we're gonna save it for our Thursday night episode. So, Dave, pass it along, to everybody that's a huge anime fan.
Absolutely, big tease. Thursday, big Thursday show.
Thursday night news story.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Mike and I don't get it.
Yes.
I'm really interested in what their views are on anime.
Yes. I really want to know what these
I bet they're nuanced.
We're confused about what it is. They're just like regular cartoons, but they got Chinaman eyes.
They're Wuhan cartoons.
They talk funny and they have no teeth. I don't get it.
Oh, damn it.
Just to show how confused you are. I believe most anime comes out of Japan, not China, right?
Yeah.
Is that
I mean,
that's a thing?
I think so.
Don't they call it Japanimation?
Japanimation.
Oh, they've really penetrated the porn market, though.
I've heard about as many hentai jokes in town as I've heard Tinder jokes, so I know it's a
Jesus
thing.
Christ.
Yeah. That's it. They're going to be the number one porn cartoon.
I would think they'd be the only one. But
I mean, you see those the little ads on the side for Marge.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Those are fuck.
I didn't know
the Simpsons are also yellow.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I know where you're going with that one. Oh,
This
man.
is-
Yes, sir!
Some people would find that offensive.
We are definitely getting kicked off of Podbean and Anchor.fm. That's okay. You know what? We owe Anchor.fm money at this point, I think, for Christ's sake. The amount.
What's TBD?
Son of a bitch. All right. So that brings us to our first sports story of the day. How do you feel about football? I know you said you're not a big sports guy, but
no, I'm a big New England fan. I mean, obviously, but it's only because it was only because of Tom Brady.
That's right,
and because he's just like one of these guys who is like it's something to see someone who's like the greatest at something.
Yes,
while they're still alive.
At something.
Right.
The absolute greatest.
And I agree with you. I think he is the greatest of all time. What would you call the guy who beat him twice in the Super Bowl?
Sounds like someone. God damn it! Someone who's not married to a supermodel. Like he's also just
true. I just don't know what you call it.
I'm a big fat slob.
I just don't know.
I can tell you this as someone who is not going to watch every football game. I try to get into the Patriots last year. It was going well. I watched almost the whole season, but I can tell you that as a lay football fan, I know Tom Brady's name.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Who
That's
doesn't?
the name you know.
Yeah. Eli Manning doesn't really.
Is he doing those? He's doing those insurance commercials now. Right? That's his brother.
That's his brother. That's his.
Oh, okay.
That's his brother who's only won one Super Bowl. Wow. Whereas Eli has won two.
What a family.
Oh, look at that fucking forehead on Eli, though.
That's a huge bitch.
Dude, pull up Tom Brady's forehead. It's not like it's small.
Oh,
I mean,
it's good enough to get
you can watch Titanic on both of their foreheads, I'm pretty sure.
Five head, the Manning family. Tom Brady's is not bad. That's 4.5. I'd say it's 4.5. You know, it's
what's
2.5 more Super Bowls than Eli's won.
What are you going to do about the Patriots now that Tom Brady's moved away?
We don't talk about that. In the
Okay,
studio.
moving right along.
Moving right along. we're on to our first news story.
That's our 9/11. You don't joke about it, okay?
Yeah, Tom Brady, real fucking Hitler, leaving New England.
You know what? We did an episode where I will say this: we did an episode where we still need to get a 6-pack of that.
Trader Aid?
Yes,
Yeah, we do.
We did an episode where there was a brewery out of Rhode Island, and Ben Smith knows the brewery because he mentioned it.
Yeah.
There's like 10 people in Rhode Island, so
well,
he knows them all.
It's 10 people, and they're all scumbag. My older brother also lives in Rhode Island too.
Yeah. There's a brewery out of Pawtucket, Rhode Island that actually they made a beer called then they named it Trader Aid.
Yeah.
And it has the Bucks
good.
logo on it, like the new one,
Yeah.
but it has like I forget what it was.
It's a parrot, isn't it?
Yeah, it was like a parrot or something. And it's basically they made it after the whole thing with Brady went down, where he went to Tampa Bay, Gronk went to Tampa Bay, and then they said this is in tribute to Tom Brady and Gronk, and they called it Trader Aid.
That's beautiful.
And it's salt. It was
key lime
and like
something
and like salty sour or something like that. But it's the whole brew was basically based around that, which was fucking hilarious. Which we still need to get in here, by the way.
Yeah.
and do a review on that. Maybe we'll wait until the beginning of the season to
That'd be a good time.
Yeah. Get a hold of that. So since we're talking about football. This was huge news because I'm a huge college football fan. I fucking love college football. I'm a Florida State fan. Always have been. I always wanted to fucking go there. I just never could because I wasn't big enough. You know. Good job there, Jamie. Way to fucking. As if we couldn't get this episode more offensive, right? Jesus Christ. So, so the Power Five is like the big conferences, right? You've got the SEC. The ACC, Pac-12,
Big Ten,
Big 12. Okay, so you got those 5 conferences. Apparently, them and NCAA are now adversaries because they want to have their own playoff and their own championship, national championship between the 5.
I mean, I would think just by taking the SEC out of there, they're going to lose at least a quarter.
NCAA?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they're going to get fucking destroyed.
Like, what is the NCAA makes what, like $6 billion a year off college football?
Yeah.
Like now they have the Mountain West.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're
Colorado State. They're playing.
We're going to see a fucking barn burner between Bowling Green and fucking Air Force.
Yeah.
You know, like
maybe now University of Maine can become a real Division I football team.
Good
now.
call. Good call. So yeah.
Go Black Bears.
Yeah. That's it, man. I actually played for them one year. Anyway, so that's like the big story right now is that they're actually they want to get their own playoff system, and then they have filed to do that.
How fitting that the SEC is trying to secede from the NCAA.
Well, it's not just the SEC; it's all of them. But yes, I know what you're saying. The SEC is sitting there. You know, we're gonna have our own playoffs and we're gonna have our own national championship, just like they had their own president there for a year.
Here's the difference this time, though. If they try to kick out those people that they tried to kick out last time, all their football teams are gonna suck. So,
I love how every conversation is going back to social issues today.
Yeah.
This is great.
Let's have another Underground Railroad. Get all those guys up to PC, and then we'll win every national championship for the next 400 years. Go for it, SEC. See if I fucking care.
So apparently the Power 5, they want to add a third conference, and it's going to be Germany. It's going to be another conference. No, I'm just kidding. That's not it.
It'll be the Mine Conference.
The Mine Conference.
Oh man, I am on fire.
Oh man. So apparently they're gonna try to officially secede from the NCAA, and they're gonna have their own playoff and their own national championship. Which
so
is,
their organization now, like, are they like the NCAA where they're just
they're just
money?
under. Right now they're just under the NCAA.
It's
ban.
5 conferences.
So it'd be like in
they're
football.
gonna get out from underneath.
If just the Patriots division and some other teams division, just like, no, we're not part of the NFL anymore. They're basically doing that. But it's all the best teams in college football.
Yes.
So they're gonna have their own national championship. It'll basically be whatever national championship it was. I don't even remember the last time a team not in one of those conferences went to a national championship.
No, every single year.
Has it ever happened?
No.
Other than, like Notre Dame because they don't have a conference. They've played.
Actually, I don't even remember. Yeah, Notre Dame is independent, so they're not part of a conference. But here's what's that's going to cause is that's going to cause Notre Dame to want to get into a conference.
Of course.
They've been independent for years.
That's the only televised games they're going to have.
That's it.
Coming out of those conferences.
And Notre Dame has that television contract with NBC. So, I mean, now essentially what you have.
Those teams wanting to play them,
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to cause a huge mess.
I don't think it'll ever happen. I don't think.
I don't know if it is. I mean, it would be cool because, I mean, like you said, all the best teams are always, it's always a power of 5.
Cool
There's a reason
these people could go there. They'll make a shitload of money. Maybe they start paying their players, which I think they should.
Sure, absolutely.
The amount of money they make off these kids.
It's jersey sales and everything like that.
Like, well, we give them a free education. It's like, yeah, but you made $19 billion.
Right.
And these kids are, even, the ones who aren't going to the NFL are still leaving with fucking CTE.
I was gonna say. Here's a diploma and CTE.
Yeah.
Yes,
here's
congratulations.
a diploma and a fast
PR
pass
manager.
to a nursing home. Because that's where you're going to be in 3 years. Let those kids make some fucking cheddar, and all the best players are going to want to go there because it's going to be a legit national championship. If you win the NCAA national championship now, that's like a fucking paperweight.
Yeah,
you win a national title without having to play Alabama, Texas.
Yeah, exactly.
Any of these the fucking UCLA, fucking USC.
I'll never forget. It was. I mean, this is going back into the vault, and it was a Sugar Bowl game, and we're talking back in like 2007, I think it was. You had Georgia. Yeah. The Georgia Bulldogs, which are just badass, big fucking. The whole team is like NFL ready.
Yeah.
All
those SEC teams.
SEC is NFL light, is all it is. It's basically minor league football for the NFL. And then so you had Georgia, and that was the year that Colt.
They played Hawaii.
Colt Brennan played Hawaii.
Fuck the
I remember that game. Colt Brennan was like this phenomenal quarterback from Hawaii, which is a MAC team, Mountain West.
They've had some decent teams over the years.
They have, but they were decent.
They're decent for that conference.
Yeah, they're playing like they're playing like San Diego State. It's
like when they brought Notre Dame in to play Alabama in the national title.
Yeah, Are you fucking kidding me?
Nope.
So like I said, I'd have to look it up. Not Jamie. While you're doing nothing, sleeping over there, why don't you look that up and find out what year that was for me? But it was the Sugar Bowl. I think it was 2007, and Georgia played Hawaii, and Hawaii had all this hype. They were undefeated. Colt Brennan was like he was the stud quarterback. He was breaking all kinds of NCAA records and stuff like that, and he played, I think, a quarter and a half of the game in Georgia. Georgia smacked him around. He got pounded. You could see him on the sidelines before the second quarter even ended, crying.
Really?
Crying on the sidelines because he was just getting
hold on.
Shit kicked
Not
out.
Jamie's handing me a piece of paper.
Not Jamie. What is it?
It was the 2008 Sugar Bowl.
2008 Sugar Bowl. So I was right there.
Hawaii was 12-0 going into that game.
Yes.
All kinds of hype.
Yes.
Georgia was 10-2 playing in the SEC. So 2 losses. Like, you're still
probably lost to Alabama and like LSU or something.
Yeah.
Like
the final score of that game was 41-10.
Yes.
Georgia.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh,
they were up 24-3 at the half.
Yeah. So
Jesus Christ. I wonder what the shit talking sounds like
on the field.
That's what I really want to
these
hear.
Hawaiian dudes, like you get like guys like The Rock.
Well,
it's like a warrior culture, so they're so like there's like this kind of aura, like these guys from the islands that they're super tough, and I'm sure they are. But I mean, like
not tough enough.
No, not you come into the SEC, baby. That's a whole nother breed. Like you said, it's basically like guys who are all NFL ready.
It's NFL light is what the SEC is.
Yeah, these guys are already beating their wives. They're fighting dogs.
Yes. Yep.
They're ready for the NFL.
Yeah.
They're already pulling the Greg Hardy. They're throwing their girlfriend down on a bed full of fucking AK-47s. Jesus Christ. So yeah, no, that was I'll never forget that game. So you got Georgia, who's a Power 5 team, and they all want to separate from the NCAA, which is now going to be left with the Group of 5, which is teams like Hawaii. So
Boise State was another one of those teams. Boise State was undefeated, and they play in the Mountain West. Put them up against LSU and see how that goes.
But look at the numbers that they put up. Okay, put them up against LSU and see how they do.
So you always have teams in the SEC that they'll have 2 or 3 losses, but they're still top 3 in the country.
Oh, absolutely.
Just the way now they have the playoff system, so it's a little bit better. But that should still be expanded to 8 teams.
Yes,
5 of them coming out of the SEC, and then maybe 2. Then you have USC and
the
Oklahoma or Texas.
The Group of 5 is always good for spots 20 through 25.
Yeah.
on the national rankings, and then you have that one team like a Boise State or Hawaii where it's they're the little engine that could, and then they show up to Georgia and then they get punched in the mouth and fucking literally have to swim back to Hawaii because they can't even get on a plane. So, well, that's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see what's going to happen if we even have a college football season, which hopefully it's going to happen.
That's true.
So that brings us to baseball, and we talked about Dr. Fauci last week, and that was awesome.
What a pitch.
First pitch
Fauci. Man, does he know how to fucking flatten the curve, huh? Holy shit. So
the wild thing, Anthony Fauci.
He should have had it. That would have been awesome.
Actually, get Randy Quaid out there to fucking give him, it's the wild thing. Anthony Fauci.
What do you think he would have for a song coming out?
I don't know. Probably some fucking Frank Sinatra bullshit.
You think so? Yeah, that might not be bad. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a little baby elephant walk, huh? It's always a good one. Here comes Anthony Fauci. He's trusted.
That's how serious being coronavirus is. The guy who's in charge of fixing the fucking thing is out throwing first pitches.
Yeah.
And then he's not wearing his mask afterwards.
Right.
Son of a bitch, Fauci.
Fucking asshole. Do as I say, not as I do. So anyways, bringing it to baseball. Speaking of authority figures, the commissioner of MLB, guy Rob Manfred, he's a complete and total fucking tool. He basically almost blew the whole season for MLB this year because he couldn't come to any kind of agreement with. They kept firing back with how many games and how much they were going to get paid each game, and he just wouldn't fucking budge on. And then finally they came to it. So there is a pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds, and he was actually he came to become a star when he was when the Cleveland Indians played the Chicago Cubs. Bob Keane probably remembers this one really well.
Is that offensive? Is the Reds offensive?
I don't know. That's a good call.
The Reds is not, but the Cleveland Indians, their mascot is arguably the most offensive thing I've ever seen. It's
People would find that offensive.
Have you ever seen? His name is Chief Wahoo.
It is Chief Wahoo.
Okay.
Okay. Have you ever seen those old propaganda cartoons from World War II when it was the Bugs Bunny was taking on the Japanese?
Yeah.
And they would Japanese guys would have huge buck teeth.
Yeah.
It's basically that, but an Indian.
Yeah.
And his name is Chief Wahoo.
Chief Wahoo.
Yeah. I don't think the Reds is I don't think that's an affiliation with an Indian or a Native American thing. Whereas
it's the Marlboro
you gotta be careful with that word.
Yeah. The Cleveland Indians is no, fuck it, that's our name.
Yeah.
People are mad about the Redskins. I'm what about the Indians?
Yeah.
What's going on there?
I don't know. What's the deal on the Indians? Because I used to work in Mohegan Sun.
Yeah.
And
well, that's owned by actual Indians.
They called themselves Indians. They were they were Indian tribe.
Black people can call themselves the N-word.
That's true.
We can't.
I was there. I was back at house. I was throwing around the N-word, and they were like, "You can say that, but you can't say Indian."
Excuse me, sir. It's Native.
Yeah, that's the N-word. Yeah. Native American.
I believe Mohegan Sun is a Pequot Indian tribe. Mashantucket?
Iroquois? Iroquois?
No, not the Iroquois.
No, I think that you're thinking of Foxwoods is the Pequot Mashantucket.
Was it Foxwoods? No, Mohegan's the other one.
Mohegan, I think it's just Mohegan. I should know this. I was there.
No, there's Foxwoods. No,
Foxwoods is a Mashantucket Pequot, which is one kind of group.
Foxwoods is it's way bigger.
Foxwoods is a little bigger. Those are the first and second largest casinos in the country.
So still now they are. I know they were. I knew they were at one point.
I don't know about now, but it's
I don't, like the one they
coming
built
up
in
behind
Boston. It is fucking huge now.
Is that in Everett? The dog track.
No, is it? I don't know. It's close. It's very.
That's
close
Revere,
to Boston.
isn't it?
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's Revere. So would you say the Mashantucket Indians are superior to, say, I don't know.
Well, here's a little history lesson.
Like, I don't know. The Seminoles have like several casinos.
Seminole Hard Rock, man.
They do, yeah.
They have several.
My wife grew up right down the street from the Seminole Hard Rock.
Seeing as how we're doing sports, top 5 Indian tribes. Go.
Okay.
In sports, what about
Power 5? Here we go.
I mean, all the top 5 are
Totally
going to be. They're
Don't
going to
do
be in
that.
the plains. Okay, those are the Warriors.
I mean, number one, unquestionably, is the Comanche. That was the whole thing that fucked us up from white people from doing westward expansion, because the Comanche just fucked them up for so many years, like in horrifically terrible ways.
Yeah.
Which is pretty awesome, because we just give them a blanket and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, well before I get sick, I'm gonna fucking cut your skull in half with a tomahawk or whatever." But if the Comanche fucks shit up.
They're serious. They're a serious issue.
Apache, I think, was another.
I'm trying to think of.
Like you said, it was the Plains Indians. Those are badass motherfuckers.
They have to be badass, because you know what? The Apache and the Comanche both have like army helicopters named after them.
True.
Then you've got the Redskins and the Indians, who only get baseball teams.
Yeah,
and
you don't have any
teams.
tanks named after the Micmac Indians back in Maine. Maybe they have like a metal detector. Like, oh, it's the Micmac. Go find a landmine or something.
Way to go, Windtalkers! You got a movie named
I think
after
Windtalkers were actually Comanche, or I think they were Apache.
I don't know. No, I think that was I don't know. All I know is that it was like a World War II thing or something.
Yeah,
Well,
that was.
they had a code, like
Right.
We would have code breakers, and the Germans couldn't, because they would use, might have been Iroquois actually. Now that you
maybe
it was some, but it was their native language, so they could never crack that code, because they would have no way of.
Absolutely,
so they helped us win. And also Nick Cage had a mandolin at some point.
Yeah,
and, that helps as well.
Yeah, was that Nick Cage in
Not in that movie, but he had another movie called Captain Corelli's Mandolin. That was terrible. And I just wanted to. I don't know. I just wanted to throw that.
He just wanted to throw out that he hates Nick Cage.
You hate him?
I don't hate him. I hate that.
I was gonna say, have you ever seen Con Air, bro?
I hate. Dude,
really? Con Air
I watched
10 out
The
of 10.
Rock before I went to Alcatraz, and I bought
as a prep, you were like, let me just.
We were on a bus trip out there, and I'm like, we need to watch The Rock before we get to.
I need to know where to hide these missiles. I mean, I need to know what I need to see.
I had I bought these green marbles, and I was like rolling them around and fucking diving on the ground, and like catching them. Yeah.
You're gonna visit Alcatraz and you don't watch Alcatraz. You watch The Rock.
Yeah. Well, that movie sucks, dude. That's like one of Clint Eastwood's worst movies.
What a story, though.
Oh man.
I mean, allegedly, they don't know if the guy escaped.
I mean,
Sean Connery.
That's true.
Sean Connery definitely escaped. 100% escaped.
Allegedly.
Yes. He did though. Yeah, I fucking love The Rock. That was a great movie.
Yeah, dude. Nick Cage
Ed
has
Harris
some
was
fucking
the man in that
fantastic movies. He also has a whole bunch of dog shit ones, but
Well, of course.
when you make 3 movies a year, that's going to happen.
You need a lot of at bats if you want those. You want to get
This
those
is
good
very
ones.
true. This is
Like,
very true.
dinosaur skulls are not cheap. The guy has a bunch of them, so he has to make movies.
Yep, absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned at-bats, because this brings us to Cincinnati Reds pitcher Trevor Bauer, who, as I was saying, Rob Manfred is one of the worst commissioners in all of sports. Trevor Bauer, he's a starting pitcher. He was a stud for Cleveland Indians in the World Series. Great pitcher, former first-round draft pick. And he showed up the other day for an interview post-game wearing a T-shirt that says, Bauer for commissioner. Now he looks like in this
That
picture,
looks like a mugshot. 100%.
it does look like a mugshot. We'll put this up on our social media page at GFY.
It looks like it
Social
was
Club.
a dare. Look at his face. He's
I
like,
know, I know, right? Well, apparently they've been like fighting back and forth, like the players' union and Rob Manfred actually, and he had just finished pitching a great game. But I guess what happened was everybody's been a critic of Manfred, and according to the story here, Manfred said that the players, in light of all the COVID-19 stuff and like trying to opt out, he's like, the players need to be better in wake of several clubhouses receiving positive tests. It said, playbook 1, take no risk yourself. 2, blame everything on the players. This is from Trevor Bauer, his tweet. He's like, blame everything on the players. 3, protect TV revenue at all costs. 4, repeat. And that was his tweet. So
sounds about right.
He's trying to get in some shit.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I mean, I don't think he's wrong though.
No, not at all. I don't either. So it's almost kind of like being a New England fan. Remember when the defensive coordinator there, Matt Patricia, started wearing around the Roger Goodell clown nose T-shirt?
I thought that was a Dave Portnoy thing.
Well, it was a Portnoy thing. It was a Barstool Sports thing.
Yeah.
But he was the one wearing it everywhere he went.
Oh, okay.
And he is an employee in the NFL.
Yeah.
So Portnoy's
that's
not
perfect.
Let's get Portnoy on this show.
Oh, dude, I would love that.
That would be so fucking amazing.
Oh,
I love that guy.
Man. Oh, fucking Portnoy's the best. Dude.
Get him on air talking about betting horses. I don't know how to do that. So
yeah,
anyone in our vast listener pool has any connection with Dave Portnoy? Put him in touch with us.
Get us in touch with him.
We're looking for him.
Yeah.
No, sports needs more drama like that.
It does.
You know. That's the great thing about wrestling is they manufacture all the drama. They build it right in.
They do.
So
that's I mean, they have to.
Yep.
Because it's
absolutely.
I'm not saying it's not a legitimate sport. I'm just saying that the winners are predetermined.
Yes.
So you don't have that. Yeah.
Right.
They do that better than anyone.
Yes.
But they have to. It's
you put the story first, right? Like this shit is great. I love people talking shit. I love the Michael Jordan documentary.
Oh man,
I still
so
fucking hate him.
Good.
I love that. That's great.
That's
good. Want to watch.
That whole thing was just like him being like, well, one time when I was 11, this guy told me, I smelled funny. So then I had a basketball game that night and I dropped 300 points. And then one time, the security guard at a stadium, he looked at me weird when I was walking in.
Right.
So then I scored 87 points on the Pacers that night. It was just like, everything was just like how he's like, he takes everything as a slight and just, it's fucking
bulletin board material, man.
And also, complete gambling addict as well.
Of course.
It's fucking like he tries. I love how he tries to brush it off because he had like ultimate veto power for everything. He's like, you know, I like to gamble a little bit. It's like, dude, this guy was fucking dropping 15 grand a hand in blackjack,
right?
Like Vegas, like 2 nights before he's.
I mean, if you're Michael Jordan, what are you gonna do? You know?
Seriously,
speaking of Mohegan Sun,
you're worth $1 billion. Why not?
He had like 3 restaurants at Mohegan Sun when I was there. He might still.
I believe it.
But
there's that Michael Jordan Steakhouse there. Right?
There's a Michael Jordan Steakhouse and there's a couple other ones, and yeah, he would come. I never saw him there. We would always do like. I always work these like B-list celebrity appearances, so I didn't work any Michael Jordan shit. But he would come, and we always hear rumors about celebrities who come on property, like shit they do, and he's there to gamble.
Yeah,
he's there to put some.
He's there to spend some of those millions. Yeah.
Well, there's there was an article written about, and it happened at Mohegan. You know, Phil Ivey, the poker player. It's like a crazy high stakes nosebleed, and he took like a private helicopter from I think from somewhere in New Jersey up to I think it was Foxwoods, not Mohegan, but he got there and they had like a private room set up for him because he was playing craps, but he was playing he's betting like $500,000 a roll.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So they don't want other people around. They want
high roller.
Yeah. They flew him in on a private helicopter, and the guy writing the article for him, he's like, "Do you want to throw a dice?" And he's like, "Okay," and he threw, and he's like, "Ivy just looking." He's like, "You just cost me $500,000."
Like it was fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's a real issue. You've got a gambling problem if you're like, I want to gamble, but I want to do it privately. That's not for fun.
There's those guys who are like, when they're used to, I've read about a bunch of these dudes who gamble like crazy high levels. Like you can't gamble like $500,000 a drop and then go back to like betting $100 hands. You just can't. Like once you're at that level, like nothing else is like, you're not going to take it serious. It has to hurt to lose, and it has to be like a thing to win.
Well, not to mention if you're going there and you're showing up and you're dropping $500,000 and just like it's nothing, you're not there. Like us pieces of shit that go to a fucking casino, people like
betting
the free
$5 a
drinks.
hand just to get free drinks.
Yeah. You're there because you're like, no, I'm trying to turn this 1.5 million into 5.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm in there like, man, I put 100 pennies in this machine, and I have not seen you come around with that drink tray in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Seriously, where's the waitress? Where's she at?
Give me my watered down booze right now.
I did forget the fact that it's Tuesday at fucking 4:00 in the afternoon. afternoon, and we got the C crew on now. But
that was I used to go. I played poker for a living at at Foxwoods for like a year, and it was like you would go in there and the people playing the slots, and there wasn't ever one time where I saw one person in that casino was like, I bet they could afford to lose this money.
Dude,
This person, it's especially like the slots. Just watching the people.
The slots are sad. Dude. I used to walk in at like 8 o'clock in the morning. I worked back at a house, and I would walk in at 8 o'clock in the morning, and you walk through the floor, and there's lots of people playing slots.
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
And I one time I was walking through, and there was you can't have kids on the gaming floor, but they can be on just on the other side of the.
I've seen that so many times.
Dad is on the machine. That's right where the kid can be, and then mom's on the other side with the kid, and they're taking turns going back and forth.
Sure.
These people look like they were sleeping in their car.
Oh yeah, I believe.
And I went downstairs. I'm like, time to
couldn't even
come back.
Like if you just go in a casino once in a while, it's great because like there's all kinds of noises and lights and it's happy and people. But like if you spend any amount of time there,
it's
like
sad.
All
and
that like that's just window dressing.
Yes,
it's fucking
very sad and depressing. And those people that are sleeping in the car, they couldn't even afford the discounted room that they get for gambling at the fucking casino.
No, I've seen people doing that, like losing money in slots or like win something and then see them the next day and they're like begging. They're always like, oh, I came here from New Jersey and the bus left and I need bus fare. Can you spare like $5? Like, dude, I saw you fucking dropping coins into a slot machine yesterday.
Yeah.
Like you didn't and then get left here. You're fucking broke.
You go around those casinos and stuff like that. Like, I mean, you've been down to South Florida and they have Seminole Hard Rock right there in Fort Lauderdale. You know how many, if you ever drive around, you see how many title loan places like the payday loan, but they're like you go in with your car title and you basically like, hey, I want, and it's all around the casino.
Yeah,
it's
or like you can get like you can do loans against credit cards. They have those.
Yeah,
like they'll issue a credit card and they'll loan you $1,000 off. It's probably the interest is probably 77% or something.
Nuts,
crazy,
dude. It's insane.
Yeah. We used to process the pictures of people who won slot jackpots.
Yeah.
And some of them were pretty good size. No one ever looked happy in a picture.
No, of course not.
Because they're like some people are. There was one lady who
whatever they won, they probably spent triple.
Oh yeah. There's one lady who she would win all the time. I'd see her picture all the time, and she was like, old lady, hat, sunglasses. Like she's not there to have fun.
Yeah,
and she would win all the time, like $5,000, $10,000, and she never looked happy. She was like, just breaking even
like,
here.
All right, all this time you're using to take my picture, I could be putting this money back into these fucking slot machines.
Yep, exactly. Seriously, stop wasting my fucking time. I got to try to win some of this back. Oh man, well that's fucking nuts, man. We're gonna have to do a whole like episode on like casinos and stuff like that.
Oh fuck yeah, dude,
that'd be
awesome.
hilarious because I want to hear some of your stories about like gambling, like playing poker and stuff like that. I've got a bunch of stuff from Vegas, and you used to work at Mohegan Sun, so I'm fucking dude. That'd be awesome.
Hell yeah.
Fuck. Well, that's our show, guys.
We can do that right around Chinese New Year because that's a big gambling.
Yes, it is.
Oh my god! You see the CEO of Mohegan Sun, this white guy trot out and looks like a fucking geisha for Chinese New Year.
Have you ever heard that story about we'll end it after this because this one's running long. But when they built the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, the MGM Grand's logo is a lion.
Yes.
And in order to get into the casino when they first built it in Vegas, the entrance was like the lion's head and its mouth, and you'd have to walk through that.
Yeah.
And they opened it, and they immediately had to like close it back down because no Asians would go there. Because like we used to bet the over under when we would go to the poker room at Foxwoods because you'd walk in through the room where they play like Mississippi Stud and Pai Gow and Chinese poker and all that. We'd bet the over under on the amount of white people that would be in that room. And like 2 was, if it was above 2, you always took the under because it was just it's a cultural thing. They all gamble, they love it. Yeah. So they had to close this casino down and do like a fucking $10 million restoration to put the fucking entrance on the side because they're like, you're walking through a lion's mouth to get in because that's terrible luck. It was like very bad luck to them. So like no one would go there and like, oh shit, we gotta fucking
tear down the whole entrance.
They built like, and there's crazy stories about like getting these like crazy rich Japanese or Chinese businessmen that love to get like they'll fly them over just to have them play there for like 3 days because they'll drop $4 or $5 million. Like
easily.
These Asian whales.
Oh yeah,
like
they would totally bend over backwards for that market, dude. Like it's right there in Foxwoods and Mohegan Sun, they bust them up from New York. And it was a real issue when whatever law they passed in the city, like in Queens or wherever, that they opened up casinos, whatever. Someone passed some law where you can like gamble like in the city or whatever.
well,
And
that
so
was
just cut in half.
when
like,
they
their
built
traffic.
when they were even when it was in like the reason they couldn't build that casino in Boston for years, and they were trying to get one built in Maine. Like they would though the funding for the anti-casino ads on TV were all by like Foxwoods and Mohegan, because like if they build them there, you're splitting our business.
Sure.
Like, a lot of our business. Like you walk in the parking lot, it was all fucking Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire plates.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
like, if we open casinos there, you're taking business.
Yeah, they're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So it's like, you got to come to us.
Yeah, literally. And they still try to get it passed, and they never got it passed in Maine, though.
No, we do. We the Bangor casino. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And there's one. Oxford.
Yeah.
That's,
Okay.
like close to where I grew up.
Yeah, because I know it was a struggle when they were trying to get that passed in Massachusetts, and then they finally got it.
Yeah. Well, the one in Boston took fucking forever. They were trying to build that one.
And then they were trying to do that in Rhode Island. That's not like they were trying to have, because there's the two in Rhode Island. There's
the dog tracks.
the river. What's it?
There's one in Newport. I know that.
With Lincoln, Rhode Island. There's one.
There's one right in Newport.
But they didn't have like all the poker tables and stuff like that. They were trying to get the.
Well, that's what the one where I
push. And then there was I think it was one of the places out in Vegas, not MGM, but one of the companies out there. I forget what they call them. There's like the
probably like
ownership
Penn Gaming or something.
Yeah, it's like one of the big ownership companies, and they had like mob ties, so they were trying to get it pushed in Rhode Island. They were putting all kinds of fucking.
It was the one thing you know about Rhode Island. There's no mob ties there at all.
No, not at all.
None whatsoever.
Jesus Christ. Oh man, well that's our fucking show, guys. We really appreciate it, Dave. It was awesome hanging out with you here in the clubhouse tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No, man,
it was awesome.
anytime, dude.
Dave, anytime. Open invite.
Yes,
Show.
hell yeah. So we can find you on Instagram. You said at Dave Janjua.
At Dave Janjua, Janjua.
Yep. So go ahead and give him a like, give him a follow. Check out some of the. He's a hilarious dude. You guys have heard all episodes. So, of course, we are also going to beg like homeless people. If you enjoyed the show, we do appreciate contributions. You can definitely find the links for that on our Spotify page, Anchor.fm page, and I think it's on Podbean now too. So it can be anything, man. It could be a one-time contribution, 99 cents, all the way up to $10 a month. If you like it that much, we'd fucking love it. And I'll give you a shout out, and I'll send you an autographed picture of B. Arthur naked if you want to
get in on it now, guys. Because when we blow up and we have that Patreon, you can say you were on it from the beginning.
From the beginning. And of course, we do have several guests lining up. You mentioned them earlier. Coming up on our next episode, that'll be a week from now. So next Monday night, we're going to have Andre Ricks.
Yes,
that's right. He's going to be on, and on
Join us
Wednesday,
from the Big Apple, baby.
Yes, and on not Wednesday, Thursday. Sorry, we're going to have a good friend of mine, Pam Benjamin from San Francisco. She runs the Mutiny Radio Comedy Festival. She's a stand-up comedian out there. She's hilarious. I was out there for the Mutiny Radio Comedy Festival back in March before COVID shut everything down, and I can tell you, she is a funny person. You're going to enjoy that one.
GFY coast to coast.
That's right. We're all over, and I'm working actually on
bi-coastal. That's what we are.
Bi-coastal. Yes.
That's how we identify.
That's how we identify. So, like I said, we do have some really good guests coming up, and so make sure you tune in for that. And of course, if you like the time here, we always tell you, give us a listen, give us a follow, give us a like at GFY Social Club. # join the club. Available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I'm not going to go down the fucking list. Twice a week. Craig, Dave, thanks for hanging out, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yes.
We love you.
We'll see you again on Thursday night, guys. That's 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. That's 1 o'clock Hawaiian Aleutian Standard Time. # join the club. We'll see you guys on Thursday night.
Bye-bye.
See ya.